lost diaries of the mob and the Rothschilds. I feel like God bought the vials, and I am just laying down inside them like caulking tiles.
Man, here we go. I said that we live in a land of criminal. My era, my era, my era, so original. I survived it and that's a miracle. Man.
Cause I'm from Slaughterhouse. Check yourself. Like Ice Cube said before you wreck yourself. Like Wu-Tang said, you should protect yourself. I got him going.
Snapping next, plus I'm live in effect. I'm in a slick Rick eye patch, but I got it from Hex. Rappers avoid eye contact. That's out of respect for the God in the flesh, the ominous and dominus Rex. They be like, you put the thought on yikes. If I told y'all once, I told y'all twice. That motherfucker is nice. I'm the king of the blood sport on mics. I'm from an era you had beef, y'all probably fist fought on sight. Get your ass beat at the basketball court on spite. That tell your wife to put your life support on ice. I'm the rap Pernell Whitaker, the honorable minister, leaving every amateur inoperable. I finished them, making plaques out of their head like dead venison. Used to be the battle tonight with M. Illiton, spilling over fabulous jams, my man Dillicent. Rep speak for me, I am the ventriloquist. I'm so stubborn, the government won't govern. That brother you spoke of, it just wasn't as dope, was it? I'm cold buzzing, I never been low budget. A taste of your own medicine, here come a dose of it. I break free like Chesamard, keep them guessing hard while broads say my bars is like ASMR. All my dogs is out the reservoir, top 5, I'm what the legends are. Live at the edge of darkness and light. One phone call, my youngest taking flight. You a bark, bitch, and never bite. Long kiss goodnight. I stay heated, my people in a place needed. If you ain't standing up for yourself, then stay seated. And they cheated, they lied like a miracle. Vespucci, I'm a miracle, I'm still super lyrical. Live from the Terror Dome, loud like a megaphone. Tough most the third, 7-inch heaven
Man,
bones.
here we go. I said that we live in a land of criminal. My era, my era, my era, so original. I survived it and that's a miracle. Man.
Cause I'm from Slaughterhouse. Check yourself. Like Ice Cube said before you wreck yourself. Like Wu-Tang said, you should protect yourself. I got him going.
But I hope an ambulance is en route. Papers a hand grenade soon as I pull the pin out. I am the Santa Fe, Mandalay, and Orlando, and Colorado, and Columbine, all combined into one. I don't walk the line, bitch, I run. Cause we don't got no time to wait, so come on, on. They call me 5 to 9 and thought, da-da-da-da. And like a shotgun, I'm ready to cock it on them. Leave these pussies stretched out like the Optimum. Never had no trouble keeping up with the times. I just adapt to the climate. I treat it like my Levi's when they ain't buttoned up right. I adjust on the fly. Middle fingers put them high. That's why they call it a bird, cause you put it up in the sky. And I'm like a spider crawling up your spinal column. I'm climbing all up the side of the asylum wall and diving a pile of Tylenol. You're like a vagina problem to a diabolical gynecologist trying to ball if it's not. Well, fuck you, just buy me. Double timing the rhyming. I leave you stymied. That's why they still vilify me like Bill O'Reilly. I'ma show you what I mean when they call me the Harvey Weinstein. It's 2019. I'm a conniving. When I'm on the mic, I'm a stand out like a lime green white beater with a knife and I'm a sight. See, you can see from the ring I'm wearing me in this game. We got married already, had the prenup ready. Fucked on us and I seen her belly. She barely was 3 months pregnant. Bitch had it, gave me a baby. We named it Machine Gun Kelly. Now here's to LL, Big L and Dell, K Solo, Tretch and G-Rap, DJ Polo, Tony, D.O.D.B, Mo, D, Run, DMC, at OG, N.E.P, M.D, D.O.C, Ice-T, Evil D, King T, U.T.F.O, and Schoolie, D.P.E, and BDP. YZ and Chi Ali, Rakim and Eric B. They were like my therapy from B.I.G. and Paris 3 times open, so we'll have a C in P.R.T. and W.A. and E.C.E. and D.R.E. was like my GPS. Without him, I don't know where I'd be.
Man, here we go. I said that we live in a land of criminal. My era, my era, my era, so original. I survived it and that's a miracle. Man.
Cause I'm from Slaughterhouse. Check yourself. Like Ice Cube said before you wreck yourself. Like Wu-Tang said, you should protect yourself. I got him going.
Hey yo, what's the song about? My name is Marsh. I could be with anybody, I choose you. Still, it's no excuse to abuse you. But no one knows what I'm going through, so I'd use you. To be truthful, I wouldn't know what to do if I lose you. So I refuse to. Might have a screw loose and a fuse blew. But I think I might be building up a tolerance to you. Cause 1 minute I'm hollering screw you, next I take it back. Guess you could say I'm trying to unscrew you. But the shit's about to pop off, yeah. I fill you up, then I got you totally open as soon as I take your top off. You're so hard to resist, you knock my socks off. My friends say you're bad for me, hogwash.
Never love again the way I loved you. Did you find someone new? Are you doing this with them? Cause I remember when you was mine, yeah. We were inseparable at one time, yeah. You know my love for you was undying, yeah. You used to always have my
Some
back.
days it feels like you're all that I have. That's why I'm trying to hold on to you for as long as I can. And you just want me for my money, so I got you wrapped all in saran. Damn, talk about eating out the palm of my hand. But if not for my financials, I wouldn't have you anyways. There have been ample, plenty days where I'm just in a daze and I can't pull myself about this rut, and you're so much of a handful. I can only take so much of you all at one time, because too much of you's just too much to swallow sometimes. Gotta take you in doses, but when you're not at my side, I shake in convulsions, separation anxiety, cause we may be the closest. Yeah, baby, we hopeless, don't we make an atrocious combination? We know it's like playing with explosives, quite dangerous though, but my brain's in hypnosis. Such a wide range of emotions, migraines, but why the fuck am I taking these motions? Ibuprofen's like a drop of rain in the ocean. You're my fix on the days when I'm broken, but the shit's about to go sideways, I just know it.
I'll never love again the way I loved you. Did you find someone new? Are you doing this with them? Cause I still remember when you was mine, yeah. We were inseparable at one time, yeah. You know my love for you was undying, yeah. You used to always have my
So I spiral downwardly cause I'm too cowardly to leave you head is clouded in a fallacy. But in reality somehow it seems like when I lay me down to sleep I'm counting sheep, you're bound to creep. Cause every time I turn around you keep running out on me. You're my Xanax and my Valium, I'm an addict, you're a downer. You're my habit, it's like I found you in the cabinet, but it's like I can't uncap it cause it's childproof. A scoundrel and fiends, how I feel around you. Awful, every time I lost you felt like I had you in my pocket. Now I'm flipping over the furniture, punching holes in the walls through everything that we've gone through. How many times you fucked me, but the way it felt for me to be on top when I was on you. Swore my fealty, but word to G.O.D. I thought you loved me, bitch, you tried to kill me. I'm getting off you, quit calling for me. Hard proofs how I respond to the Ambien and Tylenols too. Fuck all you. You fucking bitch. We're done.
All right, what's going on? Pirate Software, stop killing games. What is up with that? What's going on with that? I don't know. I see a lot of conversation around the stop killing games thing, and I know that the correct thing to think is that it's a good thing, but I honestly am not even really sure what it applies to. My understanding going into it is that it's for preserving games. The number one example I think is that race car game, The Crew. Live service games primarily to protect like live service games, to preserve them. I don't know. I don't even want to say too much because I've heard enough about it where I understand what I'm supposed to think, but I'm not 100% sure what's actually fucking going on. And this is like after like everybody's seems to be commenting on this. Your mom, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, everyone seems to be hopping on the bandwagon. Not to say that it's not a good bandwagon to hop on. I do not know what's actually going on. So even PewDiePie here put out a community note here. Thank you for all the amazing support on my recent videos. I love how I can just nerd out and share whatever with you guys. In the comments, I've seen some of you mention stop killing games. And I want to say I 100% support this movement. It ties in perfectly with what I've talked about in my videos. Ownership over software and games we buy. Strongly encourage you to sign the petition. It takes 30 seconds. Note if you're outside the EU or UK, you can't directly sign, but sharing this helps. Which, fair enough. I mean, this might be a great, fantastical, wonderful thing. I guess my only hang up that I haven't quite been able to understand is exactly what this is supposed to cover. I'm not like I understand the gist of it. Like The Crew, you can't play The Crew anymore. Why? You buy a game and then you can't play the game once the company decides that you shouldn't be playing the game anymore. I can get behind that to a certain degree, but some games I think are so fun. Like the online element to some games is so fundamental to the game. I'm not understanding like how you're supposed to preserve like Elder Scrolls Online. How are you supposed to preserve a game like Elder Scrolls Online, like a vast MMORPG? I guess maybe there's more to it. I keep saying I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out right now. But even Jacksepticeye here, Stop Killing Games. He
I
posted
think
on
it's
his
time we
second
talk
channel.
about a really important thing that is going to affect a lot of us and is affecting a lot of us who are into the gaming space.
So yeah, despite what he wants to say, I think it's something really easy to get behind, but I'm not 100% sure what it actually implies. It's like I mentioned, I don't understand how you're going to take a game that's like the core of the game revolves around the online community interaction, and then like what are these companies supposed to just be shackled to their properties forever? Like they're supposed to, like they're going to be government mandated to run servers forever. I'm not saying that's what's going on, but like I get it. I get it. Like the gist of it, the part that's like easy to get behind is like, stop killing games. You should own things that you buy, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, and a lot of these people commenting on this drama at this point aren't game developers. So it's like, why the fuck should I listen? Like, no offense to Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie, but like, why the fuck should I listen to them? I don't understand it. Here's the original video.
Hello, this is probably the
And it's
final
like an hour
update
long.
to the Stop Killing Games campaign.
Oh no, this isn't even the original
So I'm
video.
coming at you a little bit like a...
Well, regardless, I don't know. Here's the stop. And Pirate Software has been against this, but I kind of just want to read through this first. That's the other part. I like one on this website, Stop Killing Games. I want specifics. I want to see specifics. It's like the game needs to be in a playable state. And I hate to say this because I know this is what people got mad at Pirate Software for saying, but I almost want to say the same thing where it's like, this feels too vague for me to want to sign it. I like if you really want to like try to understand what this is pushing, I don't understand. Like, what am I missing? What am I supposed to be reading? Maybe there's a video that I should have watched. But this is the website. So you go to the Stop Killing Games website, which I did do to just try to understand what this is about. Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement started to challenge the legality of publishers destroying video games they have sold to customers. Okay. Like, it sounds good. On paper, I don't know how you'd fucking possibly argue with that. But like, what are we, like, what, destroying games they've sold to customers? Like, I guess, again, the best example would be The Crew. You buy The Crew and now you can't play it anymore because the servers don't exist. And that's a game that, like, I guess that would be an example of a game where you can't understand. I can't understand why it can't exist in some type of single player capacity. But I just don't know how far this is supposed to extend. Like on paper, it sounds good, but like I would like to see more specifics, right? An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as support from the publisher ends. And again, I'm not a game developer, but like, how are you supposed to prevent that from happening with something that's like specifically oriented to be online? Like Sea of Thieves. You guys ever play Sea of Thieves? I don't know. I feel like a big component of Sea of Thieves, it's like playing it solo would be terrible. But yes, like, as long, like, you know, it's better than nothing. But then, like what? Like, what are the actions that are going to be taken? Like, what is the mandates going to be to protect the consumer from these goods expiring? I almost feel like in some cases it's almost like an event. Like if you buy like tickets to something, if you buy a subscription, if you buy a membership to like a local pool, local sport, like once it's over, once the crew is no longer, once there's nobody running like the community softball team anymore, it's like, well, then the softball shit's over. I don't know. But designed to completely be unplayable. Like, maybe they're not intentionally being like designed to be unplayable. Like, I do think this is like too vague. This practice is a form of planned obsolescence. I do agree with that. It's like, I'm not saying there's nothing here. I just don't understand like what actions we're trying to take here. And it's not detrimental to customers, but makes preservation effectively impossible. Furthermore, the legality of this practice largely untested in many countries. Over the past year, we have recently escalated complaints on this problem to consumer agencies in France, Germany, Australia, and have brought forth petitions for new law on this problem to various countries. A list of the actions taken can be dated here. So this might be useful. I'll open that as a tab so I can go to it later. We're going to check that out then. As of 2025, most consumer actions on this matter has concluded, and we are awaiting decision on it from several governments. However, there are a few remaining avenues left where people can participate if they are eligible. So, and I know this is primarily in the UK, like PewDiePie mentioned in his community note. This is the most powerful option at our disposal, the European Citizen Initiative, which, by the way, just in general, Europe has been doing such a fantastic job, at least tangibly from what I'm able to see, like for consumer rights, like them reeling Apple in to finally get off that lightning bullshit and forcing them to conform to the USB-C standard. That was like beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, shout out to UK, I guess, for doing a really good job and taking care of their citizens. And then, as an extension, is consumers in general. But yeah, UK citizens and residents can sign a petition where it passed 100,000 signatures. New law will be considered to be brought before Parliament for debate. So, from destroying video games, like this is like too. I don't know. I don't like the wording, and I know it's like similar. That's similar to like what I know. Pirate Software has the wrong opinion currently. But when I read through this, the highlights that are supposed to be like egregious examples of Pirate Software being a loser again, being wrong, I kind of had the same concerns. But also maybe, we're going to look into it a little bit further. Maybe I'll feel differently. So let's click on this petition quick. Step 1, UK government petition to stop publishers from destroying games now open. While originally launched last year, it ended prematurely due to Parliament dissolving and the government misunderstood what was being requested. So it was never completed. Satisfactory, blah, 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 blah. If we can reach 100,000, we already read this. Let's click on this now. The government should update consumer law to prohibit publishers from disabling video games and related game assets features they have already sold without recourse for consumers to retain or repair them. We seek as statutory consumer right. More details. Most video games sold can work indefinitely, but some have design elements that render the product non-functional at a time which the publisher controls, with no date provided at sale. We can see this as a form of planned obsolescence, as customers can be deprived of their purchase and cannot retain or repair the game. We think this practice is hostile to consumers, entirely preventative, and have concerns existing laws to address the problem. Thus, we believe government attention is needed. There is no plan amend UK consumer law on disabling video games. Was a full response to government. Okay, so there's a lot of info here. The government recognizes concerns raised by the video game users. Okay, so this is the response from the government. Let me skim this quick. So they recognize the concerns, I see, which is good. But like, what is being requested? Just for that, is that really what all it is? Is like the request for the government to look into it? That's all I'm really seeing. Like, I don't understand what the solution to a lot of these things are, and how could it like another thing is like there are things that you buy that specifically, I feel, in video games are only valuable in an online setting. So like, I'm sure like in theory there's a solution to all of this. I just don't know what it would be. And I don't know, like, again, like I hear these Pirate Software takes being highlighted like they're supposed to be the most crazy, ridiculous concerns in the world. And they're like similar questions to what I have. Like how could this negatively impact video game development? I can see the positives. like shark cards in GTA. That shit's terrible. You know, stuff like that. But I just don't know. I'm like a bit confused. I know I'm supposed to be ride or die for this shit, but I just feel like if you know what you're signing up for, then that should be that. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna freaking buy this massive multiplayer online game and then expect the publisher to run it always. And then get mad when the server shut down. It's like, if you're willing to shove a bunch of money into a multiplayer experience, I just don't feel like you should be fucking crying when the servers go down. It's like, you knew this was going to happen. That's just how I feel about it. Personally, you don't have to like it, but then why are you, like, if people didn't like it, then why are they spending their money on it? And if the argument is you're not buying the game, you're buying a license, then maybe it should be worded that way. Maybe there should be legislation that says, like, okay, well, if you're just buying a license, then you're not purchasing the game, and you need to clearly disclose that to the consumer. Like, I'm not saying that there couldn't possibly be positive changes to be had here to be made. I'm just like confused on the specifics of what we want people to do. Like, suppose this passes and Parliament looks into it. What do we expect Parliament to do? What are the expectations? You know? Will you even be happy when it's all said and done? I'm just a little confused. I feel like it is vague. I've been looking into who to watch for this, and I know that this guy right here, Accused Farms, this is like the guy leading this movement. I tried watching his videos. Full disclosure, thought it was not good. Not that he said anything wrong, just like the video itself is like, I couldn't watch it. Does that make any sense? Hate to be a dick, but like, you know? But I think who I'm going to watch is, here, I'm clicking all around right now. I think who I'm going to watch here try to explain this, because I do believe he did a good job previously. Soggy Cereal. You guys familiar with Soggy Cereal? I think he did a good job with the Mr. Beast video. Oh, shut up, dude. I know Moist Critical put out a video about it, and I don't want to be a total dick about it, but I don't really understand why I should give a fuck what Moist Critical like has to say about this. Like, he's like, I love him or hate him, he's a streamy boy, you know. Like, he just streams and plays video games. He's not a video game developer. He's just gonna regurgitate whatever opinions came through his timeline. Like, I really don't. Hey guys, it's me, Moist Critical, and there's some stinky dinky doo-doo going on right now in the online landscape, and it's time for me to shove my fist down its booty hole. Like, I don't need to hear that. I'm not interested. No offense. If you want to listen to it, if you enjoy Charlie, fucking fair enough, but I just don't feel like I care what he has to say. But from my understanding, this guy, Soggy Cereal, he's done a very good job before with the Mr. Beast drama. I think there were a few fair criticisms to like the Mr. Beast video that he made where it was like mostly in defense of Mr. Beast, but overall I feel like he did a really good job. My understanding is that Soggy Cereal also has like a history himself in game development, and I think if I'm gonna just try to watch one concise video to try to get me to understand why everyone fucking hates pirate software this time, because there's a million reasons to hate pirate software. He's quite the fucking freak, isn't he? Oh god, such a fucking freak. Hate that guy. But yeah, this time around, I just want to make sure I'm not jumping on some fucking hate bandwagon. We'll see what Soggy Cereal has to say, I guess. Maybe he can kind of wrap it up for me. Get me to understand why I'm supposed to hate pirate software this time.
As a game developer who worked as game engine and tools developer on Helldivers 2, I've always had a special interest in YouTube's gaming and game developer community. As a game developer who worked as game engine and tools developer on Helldivers 2, I've always had a special interest.
So he's a game developer that worked on Helldivers 2 as an engine. So that's like, so this guy I should be listening to at this point. If this guy's not lying, this is a person you want to be listening to right now.
Interest in YouTube's gaming and game developer community. While learning C++ programming, I watched Cherno. Danny was my go-to for game design. And for math and physics, I just smashed my head into a wall. However, one I always avoided was pirate software. No, not the practice. I did that when I was a kid. I'm talking about the content creator Pirate Software.
They can eat my entire ass.
Also nicknamed Thor. Some of you may know Thor as Guy, who explained very simple basic concept with serious voice and big words in MS Paint, making him seem like very smart person.
And that, dear viewer, is how you kidnap children.
Maybe you know him as Guy who allegedly cheats in puzzle game streams to see more of an intellectual.
Yeah, he has so many controversies. And I think the big reason that people are so set on proving this guy like wrong, like exposing him for just being wrong, is because Pirate Software is just such a smug, know-it-all asshole. And he's been caught, like, and to be fair, when you stream a lot, when you have a large online presence, when you're constantly on a microphone, a hot mic, you're just going to have moments where you fuck up and you look stupid. But the difference with Thor is he demands such authority when he's given his takes. And when he receives criticism for his opinions, he's so like dismissive of like, why are you even arguing with me? I'm obviously the correct one here. Like just even down to his fake ass voice. Oh, now seriously, this guy's is like just the way he commands authority, undeservingly so. It's very annoying. And he received like so much publicity when he blew up on Shorts that I feel like that had like the adverse effect where people just got sick of fucking hearing him talk and explaining on in MS Paint shit, like why am I like? I remember the one that like had me going was he was like, the reason I'm popular right now is because I figured out the hack to YouTube Shorts. See, this is very simple. All you do down here is you click the publish to my subscribers button. You uncheck that check mark. And that is the secret to blowing up on YouTube Shorts. It's like, okay, it's probably a bit more complicated than that, huh? Maybe we just got lucky, Pirate Software. Like nobody's like everybody's a fucking genius. Everyone who's ever started a business and does well, they can never just say I got lucky a little bit, even just a little bit. It's always like no, it's all because I'm a fucking genius always. Very annoying.
Cheating puzzle game playthroughs now. It's blowing up again.
You've possibly seen him blame?
If we have that kind of a mistake again, I'm disbanding the party. I'm gonna go run with other people. Because you guys
cannot
do that again.
Playing a fucking video game and being such a snarky fucking asshole. Like again, like why am I supposed to hate him this time? Please explain it to me. Who talks like that?
God damn it, guys.
You're playing a video game. If we have that kind of mistake again, I'm going to have to dismantle the party and go play with someone else because we just can't have... What are you? We working a 9-to-5 Pirate Software? Are we playing a video game or are we working a fucking 9-to-5 Pirate Software?
And wine
just lost 4 hours.
And then he fucks up. He fucked up so badly with the roaching incident where he like pretended like he couldn't do anything and then ran away, which is such a small thing, right? To fuck up playing a video game and then maybe in the moment like lie about it is such a small thing. What made it blow up is Thor's response of like, absolutely not. I'm not wrong. Everyone else is wrong, and I don't care what you show me because my dad worked at Blizzard. My dad worked at Blizzard. Have I mentioned that yet? Anyway, you're all wrong and I'm right, despite what you say. And I'm not going to apologize. And that's like literally how he fucking talks, dude. Literally how he talks.
Of crafting materials. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Of course I'm going to be a little bit upset about that.
Against his supportive viewers for being terrible at a game after someone accidentally attacked an NPC called the Ocular, which then killed their entire team.
God damn it, guys. So one of you hold the Ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead. Oh, I swear to God, I'm gonna go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing, kick him out of the raid. That is insane shit. You have to be better than that. And we just lost all of those materials because you're not paying attention. This is basic shit. That is insane shit.
Yeah.
What a
how dare
bitchy.
You attack the Ocular, you stupid.
Seriously,
dumb
dude.
Moron.
Thor pulled it in a clip. Link.
Oh wait, what's that? He was the guy.
Oh my God, dude. And this is why Soggy Cereal is good because if you're familiar with Thor, you're probably familiar with like all like the mainstream criticisms, all the shit that everybody knows that he's done. But like he goes the extra mile and goes in and finds even more examples to cement why people fucking hate this guy. Literally bitching for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes about how somebody fucked this up and I'm going to go back in the video and I'm going to figure out who they are and I'm going to kick them from the raid because that's ridiculous. What do you think this is, a game? This is fucking... What is it? I don't even know what this is. World of Warcraft. This is WoW. This isn't a fucking game. Get serious. And it turns out that he's the guy who fucked up. He's been bitching about himself the whole time. But again, commanding so much authority couldn't possibly be me. And I'm going to find out who did this. Never for a second would I even assume it's me. I'm Pirate Software. I know everything about everything. I'm a fucking genius. I pretty much just think I'm Rick Sanchez.
Making it his fault everyone died? Gee, I wonder how he's gonna apologize for being so toxic to his supportive viewer base.
Yeah, literally, now this is the part where you apologize because you... and I could forgive it, right? Who hasn't gotten worked up over a video game and had a moment that was kind of embarrassing where you spazzed the fuck out? That's forgivable. It's the whatever we're about to see, I'm absolutely sure is an example of refusal to accept accountability. When even there's like on video, it's you fucking up. Refusal to accept accountability. And that's why people hate this guy and love to prove him wrong.
Reason whatsoever?
I'm not at fault there. I'm correct there for doing that. 100%. That is not on me. No.
Okay, actually getting everyone killed and wasting 4 hours of time was a good thing.
Literally on video, fucking up. That was not me. Hold on. If I say it with a deeper voice, maybe people will buy it. That was not me. That was not me. I did not make any mistake ever. I've never made a mistake in my life. Why would I start now? Come on, get real. Like the people that watch him and follow him and buy into his bullshit must be just like children and morons. Because if you talk to a stupid person with enough authority, they'll just buy everything you say. So that's who watches him. They're like, how could you argue with Thor? He's so clever. He's so smart. It's the cadence in his voice. Like you get like morons to follow you. You come in with enough confidence. Like used car salesman energy.
Now don't you dare question it or you'll get banned.
This guy sounds like he takes criticism well. You sound like you want to talk to me about it in the unban request. You just shit stirring.
Oh, what a loser.
I swear to God, I'm going to go back in the video and find out who pulled that damn thing and kick him out of the raid. That is insane shit. You have to be better than that.
On Twitch, he's known as the kindest, most supportive, and knowledgeable game dev programmer. Even though he has threatened to sue an indie developer on false grounds, and his codebase would have made me fail my first year at university for my game development.
See, I've heard a lot of criticism on Pirate Software's coding, and I just don't know how to code. So I'll just have to take whatever Soggy Cereal says with a grain of salt. But I've heard like all this, like he says he's a good coder and he's not. Well, it's like, well, I don't code. That's my problem too. Like, I feel like there's so much to criticize with Thor, but I feel like people are so quick to just jump on the bandwagon because he's such an unlikable freak. But it's like, is Charlie his Penguin Zero a fucking game dev? No. So I don't give a fuck what he has to say about the game dev side of it, right? But everybody's just so quick to cling to the narrative because they want this guy to be wrong because he's such a fucking freak, dude. He's so annoying. It's just like, oh yeah, actually Pirate Software is bad at game coding. It's like, oh really? You code games? Like, I hate to defend him, but like I'm trying not to just jump on the bandwagon right away because I hate this guy, right?
And if you don't know him from any of that, then you might know him as a guy who worked at Blizzard.
I worked at Blizzard, so when I worked at Blizzard,
yeah, dude, he mentions it all the time. And also, did you know his dad worked at Blizzard? Did you know his dad was the South Park WoW guy? Did you know that? Did you know that? He's like my dad owns Microsoft kid. Literally.
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
I know, he rarely mentions it. I'm just kidding. He mentions it all the time.
Blizzard. But for Blizzard, this is 100% your worst take ever. No, it's not. You know what I did before this? I worked at Blizzard Entertainment.
Look, again, that's such a perfect example of him commanding authority. No, my take's not wrong. Do you know what I did before this? I worked at Blizzard. Like, okay, you worked at Blizzard, and so you worked at Blizzard and you had the worst take ever at the same time. That's not possible. Oh, my bad then. I didn't realize that. I realized that it was impossible for a former Blizzard developer to be wrong about something. My bad, Pirate Software. I take it back. It's such a pompous, fucking arrogant asshole, dude.
Having worked on Helldivers 2 at Arrowhead Game Studios, I understand taking pride in your work. Hell, I opened this video sharing that pride, and every few months I'll rewatch my 5 seconds of delivering democracy in their April Fool's video. And now I'm a YouTuber and my entire life is an April Fool's video. Especially when my contract is made.
Oh, hold on. Where is it? I have a... It's funny, Sony Soggy. But no, in all realness, it's fair for Soggy to say that, like, because he's going to be critical of Thor, and he's kind of doing what Thor's doing, but like, it's not done out of like arrogance. He like I'm not gonna listen. I want to listen to him because he has like game developer background, and he like said like, hey man, I worked on Helldivers. This is what I did. This is why you should listen to me. That's fair enough. But the way Pirate Software does it, like you just heard it in that clip, he's not just like letting you know like this is my experience, so like you know I like maybe it's worth listening to me. He gets accused of something, and then as a form of dismissing without actually interacting with the criticism, he dismisses it basically by saying, "What, you think I'm wrong? I don't know if I need to tell you this, but I worked at Blizzard, so that's where that's gonna end." Like Soggy Cereal is establishing his background that's relevant to discussing this topic and then engaging with the arguments. Pirate Software hears the criticism, hears the arguments, and then just goes, no, I can't possibly be wrong. I worked at Blizzard. Please move on. Get banned. Like, which is such a difference. It's like, that would be the difference in why it's like, that's the difference between an arrogant fucking prick deflecting criticism and this guy trying to establish why he is worthy of listening to when it comes to this topic.
Making me do an ad read at the start of my video. Wait, no. With today's video sponsor Fume. Fume is a flavored air device designed to help you get rid of bad habits and replace them with better ones. Fume uses plant-based scores with only natural ingredients.
This is so stupid. Fume is so stupid. I don't get. Do we have any fumers out there? Do we have any fumers? It's flavored air. It's so stupid. I'm so sorry. It's so dumb.
To give you flavors like peach blush, maple pepper, or my favorite, crisp mint. There is no stanky.
Like, I feel like it's marketed towards kids. Does that make any, like, I feel like this is like for people to be able to like smoke something trendy. But it's like has a veneer of like, actually we're helping people break addiction. We're helping people build healthier habits. And how healthy is it? There's some type of mechanism in here, right? That like would burn. There's like a coil in here or something that burns something that tastes good. How healthy is it? I don't know. Just smoke a fucking cigar, dude. I don't know. So I think smoking's probably fine. The issue is when you're smoking a pack a day. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like I've said this before. I feel like nicotine gets a bad rep. I really do. I really feel that way. I feel like it gets a bad rep, man.
Smoke, no vapor, no addictive nicotine.
Crazy take.
Just naturally flavored air that gives you something to reach out for without the chemicals. I personally hadn't heard of Fume before they reached out to me, but I'm glad they did because ever since I was a kid, I've had the bad habit of nail biting whenever I'm really stressed out. And with everything going on in the world right now, that's basically all the time. So after a few weeks of having used it, my nails have finally stopped looking like chip paint because with its satisfying fidgety design, I have something else to fixate on.
Like that's how it's marketed. It's like a habit. It's like this is a habit reforming tool. He's not even mentioning the fact that it's like obviously specifically supposed to be marketed to like people trying to quit smoking cigarettes. It's like, well, actually, you can just buy this as a toy. You can just buy this as a toy. It's like a fidget spinner. Look, it spins. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this shit's like they're like, and they put it on YouTube channels. They like push they push this shit on like YouTube channels. I get like they're trying to get like it's like they're like marketing it like a fucking toy. I don't like that, dude.
Just gotta buy a nail clipper. With over 500,000 customers, thousands of success stories, and their continuous investments in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, I take my Fume everywhere I go. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using my code SOGGYCEREAL, you'll get a free Fume topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habits, this is the perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/soggycereal or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. As you'll see with Thor, there's a pattern where the line between pride and hubris start threading real thin. Especially when he's caught making a mistake, which I wouldn't have such a problem with if he just owned up to them.
Exactly. The issue isn't that he makes mistakes and that he's wrong. The issue is how he handles the criticism. Again, oh, you think I'm wrong about that thing? I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm actually a former developer for Blizzard. So I'm not going to engage with the criticism. I'm simply going to write you off as stupider than myself. Because again, I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm a developer from Blizzard.
Whenever someone else makes one. But he doesn't.
I'm not at fault there. That is not on me.
And he is.
Eat my entire ass. that the level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter
Like
for
literally,
12 hours.
literally,
Really
you're just stupid. You're just stupid for criticizing me. Like no engagement with the actual criticism, just constantly. Well, you're dumb, so shut the fuck up.
stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move.
Nonetheless, I never quite felt like making a video on him because everything bad he did always seemed trivial.
Why is he so moist? Why is Soggy Cereal's like face so oily and moist? See that? There's like liquid on his like mustache area and below his mouth. He's like drooling from fucking sucking on that fume.
Really obnoxious in itself, but after what he has done to an initiative I deeply care for, well, now those toxic instances formed a pattern not just plaguing Thor, but one reminding me of everything I hated about the game development industry, which I wish to unravel. So let's start talking about...
Stop killing games.
Yeah,
Stop
good.
killing games. Stop killing games.
Stop killing games.
See, all these people talk about it, and I'm like, I still don't fully, and it's like, well, they're not to understand, it's to protect the consumer. It's like, well, what are we going to do to protect the consumer? Oh, we're gonna have the EU look at it. Okay, what are they gonna do? Well, they're gonna fix it. How? Well, they're gonna make the companies be more accountable for the games after the end of life. How? What is the well, I don't know. They'll figure it out. Will they? And maybe I'm missing something, but that's my problem with it. Like, I'd love to just jump on the bandwagon and be like, fuck Pirate Software. But there's been a few points Pirate Software has brought up that me, as admittedly a layman, not pretending to know what I'm talking about, not pretending like I have some insider knowledge of how game development works or any of this shit. There's things that Pirate Software has said that I know that I'm supposed to look at and think that they're ridiculous because I'm watching it through like retweets and clips posted on Twitter. And I'm hearing it, and I'm thinking that sounds reasonable. And I'm trying to understand why, well, like other than just Pirate Software being such an arrogant prick and the way he talks about anything, what's wrong with this specific statement? You know, I don't know. And then even when I looked into the petition, I'm like, yeah, this does seem vague to me. I don't know. That was like one of the big things he said, right? It's like it's not. And then I don't know if it was most critical, but like I've heard people snap at that, like, what's vague about this? Like, I don't know. I don't really understand what we're going to do here. It's like, we're going to sign a petition to make gas prices cheaper. And it's like, okay, I'm down for that. But like, what are we doing? How are we doing that? What are they going to do? Like how, and what would be the ramifications of that also? Like, I don't know.
Stop killing games.
For the past decade or so, game publishers have taken it upon themselves to take the entire right of ownership of their games from the buyer's hands and keep it in their own hands with the use of licenses, making it so that if one day they now decide to pack up shop and go to the Bahamas, well, they can take away access from everyone who has ever bought their games. You can
but I don't. I'm kind of like fucking pausing too quickly, probably, but I don't understand what's wrong with that. I really don't understand what's wrong with that. If you're buying an online, like, maybe you could argue like, well, they should be more transparent that you're buying a license to a service that does have an expiration date, right? But I don't see that specifically like being the concern. It's just like, in general, we don't want games to have like expiration dates. Like, be like how would that affect, like, I don't know. I guess I should let him talk more, but I understand initially the other side of this, where this like could be problematic. It's like, well, if you're making a game, you need to make sure it's playable forever. You need to have an end of life plan, and then that sounds good. But how would developing a game to make it have an end of life plan affect the overall development of the game? Like, I would love to hear like the pros and cons here. Or what possible solutions have actually been proposed, instead of just like, this is a problem, we want it fixed. It's like, well, what, like, is it a fixable problem? Is it even a fixable problem?
See this in the license agreements from scummy, greedy companies like Blizzard, saying Blizzard reserves the right to terminate this agreement at any time for any reason or for no reason with or without notice to you. EA states that if they decide to shut down a game or service, well, they'll tell you at least 30 days in advance, after which you can go fuck yourself, because after online service termination, they can't guarantee their games will continue to function. With Ubisoft, this license confirms no title or ownership in the product. Ubisoft may terminate this agreement at any time for any reason. And Ubisoft...
And if you don't like that, then don't buy the fucking game. What am I missing? What am I missing here? Is that shitty? Yeah. Is that shitty practice? Yeah. Do I like it? No. What do I do? Well, I won't buy the fucking game then if I have a problem with only being able to buy a license. Well, why? Oh God, I feel like I'm on the wrong side. I feel like I'm missing something. 'Cause it's like, who the fuck am I to say that I'm entitled to be able to have access to the service you're providing right now forever? Especially when you are, and you could argue that putting it deep into terms and conditions like that isn't enough of disclosure. Fair enough, but they are disclosing like this is a license to our live service, and we do have the right to cancel our live service whenever we want. And then you fucking buy the game anyway. And then you bitch and cry when the game goes offline. I don't know. I feel like I'm wrong, but that's how I feel about it. I feel like I'm wrong, but that's how I feel about it. Shitty take, not gonna lie. Like, what am I missing then? What am I like? I feel wrong, but that's how I feel. I could lie. I could lie and say that I feel like I'm supposed to feel. I don't know. 'Cause I like the idea on its face, but like I also kind of like I'm confused on like what more needs to be done, or what's expected to be done. What is the resolution? The petition passes, it goes to Parliament. What are they doing? Like legit, like what are they doing? Like tell me like what is the expectation?
Abused their practice in 2024 when they took their servers offline for racing game The Crew. A game with a mere 12 million...
Put this in... Okay, I'm reading a chat. Put this in perspective. If this was a movie, it can just poof out of existence without being accessed. Doesn't Disney do that with the Disney Vault? Like they like that's a thing. Netflix is a service, and if they pull a Netflix show off Netflix, it's gone. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that's right? But like, I don't understand where me as the consumer, like a customer of Netflix, like why I'm entitled to watch something that they produced forever and ever and ever, and they should have to consume like server as if it's such a big deal. But like, I do think that they have the right to take down their own properties, right? Because that is a thing with movies already, like especially with Disney. I think it's disgusting. I don't agree with it intentionally. Like I don't think Disney's a good company to like take the lead on things, but like that is a thing already, isn't it? And also like a movie isn't something that has to be constantly maintained and serviced. Video games online services are. So like you're like what like where's the line? What are we expecting them to do? Is it like, oh, you made a live service game, so now you need to be tethered to it for all of time? Like you need to make sure this is constantly functioning forever, or is like, but like what is it? Or you, when you release the game, you set an expiration date. You need to more clearly disclose that you're only buying a license to like a service that will have an end of life. Like I'm not saying it couldn't be better. I'm just like, is it really that bad? All the movement wants is a way to access it, either making the game peer-to-peer or giving the resources for the community to run it themselves. I don't know, dude. I was just. And I'll take the fucking L if I like missed some glaring thing on their website. But I was on the Stop Killing Games website before and during the stream, and I left it. And you know, maybe I'm fucking an idiot. I missed something crazy, like something specifically, but I like didn't understand it. Like I understood that they were asking for the consumers to have like more control over like the preservation of video games. I understood that. That was like the basic gist of it. But I was still left confused. Like, okay, well, what is the expectation? Like even. What is it? All the movement wants is to give a way to access it, either making the game peer-to-peer or giving the resources for the community to run it themselves. Fair enough, but where did it say that? If I was going to go sign that petition right now, I did not have that. Like like I feel like people are just going and signing the petition because it sounds like good, but I do feel like it was a bit vague. And also I'm not a game developer. Who the fuck am I to sit here and be like, oh yeah, it's fucking, and maybe it is, but it's like, I don't fucking know. They should be able to make it peer to peer. I should be able to run my own WoW server. Maybe that is harmful to game development. I really don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. But maybe that is the answer. I don't know. Let's let Soggy fucking educate me more.
Registered players who now...
The Crew's a good example though, because that's a game that like it even had a single player mode baked into the game, right? And then they shut down the servers anyway. And, you know, that looks like it was a form of forced obsolescence to get people to buy the new game, which that was bullshit. But also when you got the game, it was in the terms of service, I believe, that this was like, we have the right to fucking pull the servers down whenever we want. So that makes me be like, okay, well, they pulled their fucking property. They pulled the servers down. The property that they own, they pulled down. I don't see what the problem with that really is. If your argument is like, well, they should have disclosed that better, fair enough. But like, I like what, you're entitled to this property forever because you're not buying the game. You're just buying a license, which is bullshit and shitty. And I hate that. But like, that's what you're buying. All right.
After buying it, all lost access because you could not play without a server connection, causing immense community backlash. So inspired by the train wreck caused by the Crew, or guess I should say car wreck, a passionate creator, Ross Scott, who runs a YouTube channel, Accursed Farms, started the Stop Killing Games initiative, with its current goal being to introduce European legislation that prevents publishers from leaving their games in an unplayable state at the end of their life cycle. All it asks is to just have publishers leave games in a reasonably functional and playable state before shutting them down. And to even get this off the ground and in front of the eyes of European lawmakers, it needs at least 1 million signatures. Now, I care deeply for this. I signed the petition not only because I grew up my entire life playing video games, needing that escapism during a not so fun upbringing, but even if I didn't, I still believe in basic consumer rights. A publisher shouldn't have the ultimate decision to permanently take it out of existence just because it's not as profitable to the shareholders anymore. And I wish to believe most people share that ideology, including Pirate Software.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out. And it never will. And that's the whole intention of all of this.
What is this? And they end their argument that these terms of service are unjust because they have too much power compared to the person that paid the money. I'm so torn because I would like, I am genuinely torn because I kind of see both sides of it, but I feel like it would be more beneficial for me to just pretend like I don't. like I don't know. Like fictional character, it's their game. They bought the game, so if they didn't read the terms and disagree with them, it's not the company's fault. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm not supposed to feel that way, right? I feel like I'm supposed to just look the other way because it would be more beneficial to me as the consumer. But I get the other side of the argument as well. Like, you're not buying the game, you're buying the license, and that's a shitty practice, and I don't agree with it. But they're not even lying to you. Oh, I'm really fucking torn. I'm like not definitive either way, but I'm just saying I do see both sides of it.
Of course he does. He's such a good guy. Wait, he said what 5 seconds later?
This is shit. It's shit. Oh shit, no, this is actually really dumb. That's awful, dude. Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for...
See, this is overly critical though. Like, he clearly has some type of bias. Like that's why like Pirate Software still deserves shit. Even if he has a valid point to be made, he still deserves to get shit because he's being so overly critical. Like, all I'm sitting here and saying is like, I think there's room for conversation here. I think there's room for debate here. I think there are two sides to this argument. And Pirate Software is over here like, this is shit. I'm an Ubisoft. I'm a Blizzard developer, and this is shit. This is garbage. I'm not even going to engage with the conversation. Did I mention I'm an Ubisoft developer? Like, that deserves shit. Like, he's trying to shit. Like, just kill the kid in the cradle, dude. And I don't like that. I think both sides have a point. I think there's a conversation to be made for both sides of this argument. And I think that the way he's already interacting with the points being made, what's being asked to be looked at, is fucking ridiculous. And clearly there's like a bias here. Because he's a game studio. He makes games, right? So legislation over game production would hurt him, right? So is that the problem? Is that where his bias is? Is that why he's such a fucking baby about this? What is it? Nickname. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but it used to be that you buy the game and get to keep it. And I agree with you. That is like superior the way it should be. Like a Game Boy game, for example. And and I like it better that way. I'm not arguing that this is a better way for things to be. I'm just saying I think that the publishers have a right to be fucking pieces of shit about their IP, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I do think they have a right, especially if they're putting it in the terms and conditions. Like, if they tell you we can pull this game down whenever we fucking feel like it, I think they have a right to do that. And if you don't like it, you shouldn't buy their fucking shit. You should vote. Like that's what I feel like it should be. It's like, fuck these people. Like, but like what, consumers are so fucking stupid with their money that we have to like create legislation to the companies and put we always, and that's like a thing. These people, we never are allowed to hold the consumer accountable. It's always everyone else's fault. Like cars. Yeah, cars are ridiculously overpriced. Insanely overpriced. You know who's still buying them? Everyone. Everyone's still buying new cars. And no one will go up to their fucking aunt who just paid $25,000 for a base model Kia Sorento, okay? And tell them, hey, you made a really stupid financial decision, you fucking idiot. It's always, I can't believe that they would sell you that car. I can't believe Kia's overpricing their cars that way. I can't believe inflation's so bad. Well, the prices exist. The inflation exists because people are willing to fucking do it, dude. I think consumers in general should be held more accountable. I really fucking do. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but it used to be that you buy the game and get to keep it, like a Game Boy game, for example, and then they just changed the deal at some point and made it a license. Yeah, and I agree that's shitty. I don't like that, but I also think they should have a right to be able to be shitty like that. I hate to say it like that, but I kind of feel that way. I don't know. And one of the worst things is that you often buy the games and then get to see the terms of service. Yeah, and you could argue that. Definitely. Maybe it should be way more transparent that you're only buying a license. 100%. Like when you have Game Pass and you're clicking on a game, maybe instead of saying buying game or getting game. That's why, oh my God, doesn't it say that? When you get a game on like Game Pass or something, doesn't it say get? It doesn't say buy or purchase. It says get. Right? Look it up. Most TOS terms of service on the internet, once again, it's their game. They can make it a license if they want. I think I agree with that. But sometimes they just throw a new license your way after you already bought it. For example, the new game launchers for XCOM 2, where the TOS suddenly had forced abbreviation. Okay. No, then this is all I'm saying. I think that like this is the conversation. Like I believe that there's two sides to this. I feel like there is like a back and forth to be had here. I don't feel like it's just like a one-sided deal either way. I don't know. Let's see if Thor has anything insightful to say here.
12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move.
See, notice this is not what I'm saying. Notice this is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm saying that I don't fully understand what the end game here is. I believe that there are problems in the game industry. I believe that consumers should have more rights. I'm just struggling to understand where the line is and what the expectation is of this getting pushed to Parliament. That's pretty much where I'm at. I have questions.
This is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then.
But I did not say that. That is not my opinion. That is the difference between me and Thor. like I have questions. By the way, Pirate Software is developing a game, but it is a single player game, so he shouldn't be overly biased in the theory. Well, XCOM 2 isn't the greatest example. They just jumped the gun and said we're gutting everything and selling it to a third party. but maybe he sees his dream MMO threatening or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think his bias as a game developer company is definitely something worth bringing up, because he really shits on it, right? Like I'm critical, but I'm not dismissive. I think that's fair, right? I'm being critical, but I'm not dismissive. He's like, this is shit. This is stupid ass. This is awful. Like that's going too far. I don't know. I don't know. I just think I think it's like people are too quick to shit on Thor, and then Thor is too quick to shit on everything, and then I feel like Thor is such an unlikable individual that it's so easy to take the road against him, you know?
Why? Thor not just criticizes, but bashes and demonizes stop games.
That is a problem. That is a problem. That is something entirely worthy of criticism to Pirate Software. Well, he makes it very hard to argue with him. Well, he won't argue with you. He won't argue with you. Pirate Software won't argue with anybody because he was a developer at Blizzard, didn't you know? He barely ever mentions it, but did he mention that he was a developer at Blizzard? That's stupid. I was a developer at Blizzard. Banned. Like, he won't even engage with it. Again, like Soggy Cereal in the beginning of this video made it clear that he had a history in game development, but that was like, okay, so this is why you should listen to me as I interact with the arguments. Pirate Software does not do that. Pirate Software goes, listen, I was a game developer, kid. Shut the fuck up. It's entirely different.
Can imagine we've been less than thrilled that Thor here has become the dominant voice of the campaign.
And I wouldn't have such a problem with that if the majority wasn't straight up misinformation and there wasn't such a conflict of interest. See, the initiative wishes
there's
to
a major conflict of interest with Thor.
that any game that requires purchase
Well, I'll let him read it.
or subscription fees and a server connection to remain playable after a company shuts down their server. This
I want to hear that
self-evident
again.
See, the initiative wishes to see that any game that requires purchase or subscription fees and a server connection to remain playable after a company shuts down their server. This self-evidently includes live service games, which are games that continuously receive new content to keep higher player retention, multiplayer games, and amongst other categories, single-player games who now often, because companies hate us, require a constant or with interval server connection as anti-piracy measure, which we call DRM. Damn you, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So when Thor started saying things like,
For those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or
it is vague.
Hold on, what? Was that wrong?
You Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So when Thor started saying things like,
For those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or
What? What was wrong about that? Well, no, all the initiative is asking for is for the game to be in a reasonably playable state. That's even what they said, word for word. Thor is saying specifically they're requesting for DRM to not be in the games. Oh my god, and that would be something Thor would want you to think, because he's a game publisher. Maybe he's not even lying. Maybe that's just his concern. Maybe he's not even lying. Maybe that's just his concern as a game publisher. He's worried that this could affect like DRM copyright integrity tools. But that's not what they said. That's not what they said. No, that's not what they said. They never said they don't want DRM in games. They just want the game to be able to exist in a reasonably playable condition after the end of life. So that is bullshit. That is what he said is not correct. But if you're a super paranoid schizo freak game developer and you're a greedy little fucking prick that used to work for Blizzard, he may have mentioned that a few times. The first thing you're probably hearing is, oh, they want to fuck with DRM. They want to fuck with my copyright protection tools. I can't have that. I'll lose millions. So maybe this isn't even like an intentional fucking, to be fair to Thor, maybe this isn't even like an intentional misrepresentation. Maybe this is just all he heard. And which would make sense, which is very fitting for Thor, because he already knows everything before he even hears anything, right? So maybe that was literally his takeaway. The problem is he won't engage with anybody, so nobody can correct him. That's not what they're asking for. Or maybe he's just so worried that Parliament would affect the copyright tools. Because I can, they never said this, but it is left open. It is left open what the resolution would be to make a game exist in a playable state, right? And it wouldn't be like a lie to say, well, maybe they would fuck with DRM, and that would negatively affect me as a game publisher. Again, it's not the mistake that's the problem. It's the lack of accountability afterwards.
Single player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or
it is vague. They need to be specific that they're talking about single player games that do not need a server to support them.
Wait, what the fuck? Where's this website? Did I find this website? An increasing number of video games are sold as goods. Okay, I read that already. The video game The Crew, published by Ubisoft, was recently destroyed for all players. See, I don't like this language. Even if it's for a good cause, I don't like this language. But I guess it was destroyed. It's not inaccurate. Anyway, for all players and have had a player base of at least 12 million people due to the game's size and France's strong consumer protection laws. This represents one of the best opportunities to hold a publisher accountable for this action. Official government petitions has been introduced to prohibit the practice of intentionally rendering commercial video games inoperable when support ends. So, what is he saying?
Player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or
it is vague. They need to be specific.
It is vague. It is vague. It is vague. I'm sorry. It is vague. We want Parliament to look at these issues and and make sure the games exist in a reasonably playable state. That is vague. That is vague. He's not wrong there. I'm fucking sorry. He's not wrong. It is vague. It is vague.
They're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
Misrepresenting to his
Wait, what?
Player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change.
Or
it is vague. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
But he's not but they're not worried. When did they're literally talking about The Crew. It's right in front of your face. They're talking about The Crew. The Crew was largely online. I played The Crew. The argument is you could have made the game single player. The game had a single player setting. You know, it was set up to be single player, and then it was never executed. But the game was like largely an online game. Like it was like you were meant to interact with people and be social. It's right in front of your face, Thor. You need to be specific. You're talking about single player games. Well, they're not just talking about single player games. So you're just wrong. They never said that. And to be fair, they are vague, but the thing you're saying they never said. Okay.
Presenting to his millions of viewers that the initiative's language was too vague, that actually they're only referring to single-player games with online DRM, which they aren't.
No, they're not. I do think they were vague, but they also were not saying they were specifically referring to online games with DRM. They were vague, but that's the whole deal. They were vague. Yes, that much is correct. But now you're like taking advantage of the vague nature of the way that it was written, and you're making it sound you're giving an uncharitable assessment to the vagueness, what the expectations are. And to be fair, that was my criticism as well. I don't understand what the expectations are. I understand like the overall idea of it, but I don't understand what the expectations are. But yeah, no, this is a misrepresentation from Thor, 100%. He's right that it's vague. He's wrong. He disproves himself. He says that they were too vague, and then afterwards claims to know what they're asking for. Well, were they too vague or were they too specific? No, fuck this guy. When was the last sighting of Dave Jones or Medium Sized Bagel? I don't know. Man. This channel's going downhill, brother.
Online DRM, which they aren't. That with this vague language, it would ruin live service games.
Would have to sunset live service games as a single player experience. The idea that suddenly
they never said that, but that's because they were too vague, which he even brought up that they were too vague. And I even maybe not too vague, but I do think they were vague, and I was left unsure of what the expectations were going to be. But he's like taking that as and maybe it's not even malicious, just him thinking he knows everything. He's like adding context. He's like shoving words in the movement's mouth, and he's doing it in a very uncharitable way.
You need to make every single live service game playable single player offline? No, dude.
Correct. No.
Even though Stop Killing Games founder Ross Scott disproved that.
Yeah, but then he got corrected. See, that's where it's unforgivable. It's not that he had questions or criticisms. That's totally fair. It's that when the guy in charge of the movement directly comes out and says, no, you're wrong, that's not what we're asking for, Thor refuses to engage with it. That's the issue. As far as I understood, thank you, nickname. What is this? As far as I understood, is that it is vague because this isn't a law, and since video games are so different, a one-size-fits-all solution like give away server binaries or source would be bad. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, I don't understand what the expectation is. I don't get what the expectation is supposed to be. How do you fix this problem? I think that this should just be more transparent. Like, if I were to propose a solution that I feel is reasonable, I personally am of the belief that consumers need to be held more accountable for the way the marketplace the way the marketplace grows, like with anything. And I'm sorry, I feel, and I know that most, like, you know, well, this won't work because people are fucking idiots. Fair enough, but that's not the company's fault. I don't know. I feel like consumers need to be more accountable for their purchases. So I feel like the most reasonable option here would be that you need to clearly, in some way, shape, or form, disclose that you are buying a license to it on like a live service that could be taken down at any time. That's pretty much like, I don't really know what more you could ask for. It's like, well, they shouldn't be able to just get rid of games. It's like, well, it's their game. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of don't agree with that. Unfortunately. Yeah, people shouldn't sign contracts that say, by the way, you have no rights, and say that this is stupid. I'm not doing that. Yeah. No, I feel like a huge part of the conversation that is missing here is that consumers need to be held more accountable for their purchases and the role that poor purchases and lack of education plays in things like inflation, just in general, and bad business practices. But Thor is just so fucking obtusely dismissive. I mean, the issue isn't that he has issues with this. The issue is how dismissive he is.
Are going as far as saying what the initiative is
even when he's being proven to be wrong.
Is so fucking stupid and outrageous, it made him angry like a little tiny toddler.
That video made me actually mad, like real mad, not like fake memes mad, like actually mad. Like, I'm actually mad.
To the point he said he wasn't just not gonna back it, he was actively going to boycott this consumer movement.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm gonna actively tell people not to.
And so people wondered why he'd do that?
Yeah, why? Okay, fair enough. Why? Fair enough, Thor. Fair enough, Pirate Software. This guy made a video explaining why you were wrong, and it made you so fucking angry, your words, not mine, that you were like, I'm going to actively try to fuck this movement. I'm going to actively tell people not to support it. Okay, fair enough. Why? Fair enough, why? Explain yourself.
Even Ross was interested in having a conversation about it and left a comment on Pirate Software's video to correct the misinformation he was spreading. His comment got deleted and the request for a conversation denied.
I reached out to him.
Would you consider reaching out and talking to Ross about it? No. And the reason why is because I found his entire statement over the YouTube incredibly disingenuous. It's used car salesman garbage.
Yes. No, that's what I called Pirate Software. You're used car salesman garbage.
Or Ross Scott, the average used car salesman.
Is that deflection? Is that possibly like he knows that's how he? Is that possibly Thor knows that's how he commands authority? Just by coming off with such confidence and establishing like things like, the sky is actually red. I was a developer at Ubisoft, so that's just how it is. The sky is red. Like deflection. The reason why I won't debate you is literally the reason I won't debate you is because I was an ex-Blizzard developer. Literally.
Salesman who spends months to fight for consumer rights. for free. I've seen him say some dumb, pretentious shit, but knowing the initiative doesn't even take donations, its founder being on YouTube even before it was profitable and has been advocating against killing games for at least 6 years, makes this one of the dumbest. See, but Thor works
No, it's deflection. It's because that's him. It's because that's him. He's like doing the Hassan Piker bullshit where he's trying to paint the opposition like with like the issues. He's like, what is the word? Is it deflecting? It's like when you know that you're doing something, so you like push it off onto something else. You're able to identify a problem with yourself, so you like make the other person look to be like you're being, right? That's what he's doing. That's what Thor does. Like Thor like will not engage with any criticism or arguments. He just simply will like dismiss you as like, well, you're a fucking idiot, so I'm not even going to talk about it with you. Even when he's directly proven to be wrong.
Strategy director at a publishing company called Off-Brand Games, and a publisher's goal is usually not to create or develop a product, but to make sure sales are as high as possible and that the product is profitable. Now, at the time the initiative launched, well, Rivals of Aether 2 was in development with Off-Brand Games as its publisher. And Rivals of Aether is a live service game, so when Thor...
So he was a publisher with Thor? Wow. So Thor's background in game development is being a publisher, optimizing sales and profit. And he hates this initiative and won't engage with any counter arguments. Wow, dude. He is not the fucking guy to open his mouth up. Oh my God, dude. So where did he develop other than his own studio? Where did he develop for? Where's the background him like being a developer?
Said this.
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole...
Well, hold on. I'm so director of strategy at Off-Brand full-time, Pirate Software.
Strategy director at a publisher.
He was a strategy director.
Called Off-Brand Games, and a publisher's goal is usually not to create or...
He was a strategy director for a publisher, and a publisher in the gaming world is responsible for making sure the games are profitable. Wow, dude. That is like clear fucking biased.
Develop a product.
He worked for Blizzard and Amazon, and then he worked on his Game Maker game and another small game.
But to make sure sales are as high as possible and that the product is profitable. Now, at the time the initiative launched, well, Rivals of Aether 2 was in development with Off-Brand Games as its publisher. And Rivals of Aether is a live service game, so when Thor said this...
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it. It would impact every live service game that exists.
Well, people noticed he was acutely aware of the possible hurdles a game he's helping publish might face if regulation laws were introduced. So trying to entirely twist the initiative's message.
It is vague.
Can't kill it.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
And completely discredit Ross.
It's used car salesman garbage.
Could be seen as beneficial for him.
I am just trying to get this initiative passed. If that means I have to get insulted all along the way, okay.
This shit sucks. Eat my entire ass.
I'd recommend watching Ross's video if you want more details on just how far Pirate Software went to boycott this entire thing. But what makes me angry most of all is firstly how after all this came to light, he still quadrupled down on most
Yeah, he's never wrong. Pirate Software can never be wrong.
Said, even though he was disproven multiple times.
I think that there is a conversation to be had around this, and like that's fair. There are issues, I think. Like I think Pirate Software is right when he says that it's very vague. I don't understand what the end goal is. That's fair. But like he's making accusations that are like provably false, refusing to engage with the opposition, and then doubling and quadrupling down without proficiently engaging with any of the criticisms towards himself. That's the issue. And then his background in game development, like we just learned, makes him like he has a clear potential bias towards this movement, being that he was the director at a publisher company for video games, and now he runs his own video game company.
Then started banning and blocking anyone even slightly critiquing him.
Yeah, and then anybody that disagrees, he just gets blocked. So, no, this guy I think that there is a criticism, like there is a debate to be had around this movement and like what the expectations are. And I do think it's vague, and it's like, it would be good to like have more like back and forth. Like there's, I can see there is a reasonable like level of criticism that's like should be acceptable towards the movement, but it's the way Pirate Software is conducting it, the clear bias, the refusal to engage with any of the talking points. I'm a developer at Blizzard, so I listen, I gave my opinion, and I was a developer at Blizzard, I haven't mentioned yet, so no, don't want to hear it, guys. Sorry, moving on. Like that is like the cadence. That is why that is the used car salesman bullshit. Listen, man, this is a 2001 Honda Civic, all right? It's going to run for 1,000,000 miles. Trust me. Trust me. Like, literally, that's how he talks. That's how he commands authority. He's a fucking... Oh, he's such a freak, dude. He's such a freak. Such a freak, man.
But also, how he tried to guise it as being a selfless hero.
Because I don't want, and this is the real one, I don't want the government telling indies that they have to have their live service game.
Oh, it's the indies. It's the... I don't know. That is honestly kind of fair. That is... Oh, I'll let him finish and then I'll speak.
Stay online forever. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But when you're talking about a legal setting to...
They never specifically said that they want the... That's the problem. That's where Pirate Software does have a point. It's vague. They never specifically said that they want indies... They want all game publishers to make sure their game can exist online forever. But they were vague in saying that the expectation was the game could exist in a reasonably playable state. So like there is potential for there to be like damage to small developers. There is. I'm sorry. I'll let him finish, but I get where he's going with it, and I think it's a reasonable criticism. But I'd love to hear the rebuttal. I'd like to hear the rebuttal from the other side. Will Pirate Software allow that to happen?
Force people to do this, you're generally moving in that direction.
He just doesn't want indie developers experiencing legal trouble. Which is very ironic coming from the guy who, unbeknownst to most, threatened to sue a solo indie developer.
Yeah, okay. So he doesn't actually care, but I think that was a genuine criticism. Like big companies in general, like big companies will get behind shit and advocate for shit that makes you think like, wow, I'm surprised that they want that. Like one of the big examples would be like a higher minimum wage. Like Walmart execs, like Amazon execs, like they will advocate, they'll say like, yeah, I think we should have you'll see it all the time, like in the New York Post and shit like that. These like CEOs will say, I think we should have a higher minimum wage. And that sounds like good. And you think to yourself though, well, why would they want that, man? I'm so surprised they're saying that. It's because it knocks all the small guys out of business. Like Walmart is more organized than like a mom and pop fucking like grocery store, right? So Walmart, by being more organized and more efficient, they can afford to pay a smaller amount of people higher wages to do the same job. And when they raise minimum wage, nobody wants to fucking hear this because everybody just wants to make more money, blah, 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 blah. But the reality of the situation is if you raise minimum wage, it does hurt smaller companies that just aren't efficient enough. They don't have the tools to do that. They don't make enough money to do that. So that, I don't know. That is a legitimate criticism. I don't think that was bullshit, but obviously Thor doesn't actually give a fuck either. So that's both sides of that.
We have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier. We're gonna take you to court. You're going to lose.
Maybe I should talk about that for a second. As many of you may know, a few months ago, a group of content creators formed a guild called OnlyFangs in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, a game
this was so
where if
funny.
you die on a character, you lose that character permanently. Pirate Software was part of this guild, playing as a mage. Now, not only was he known for pretentiously mocking new players and bullying other mages in the guild, going as far as
guys, I'm an expert player at this game. Did I mention I was a developer at Blizzard?
to say watching them play made him physically sick because
Oh my god, what a pretentious prick. He knows everything.
Other stinky noobs. He is best player out there, cause
you know what I did before this?
You
I worked at
dude.
Blizzard Entertainment.
Okay, well at one point when he and his teammates were streaming and got themselves in a danger.
Dude, your gameplay is shit and that wasn't my fault. Oh, you don't agree with me? Dude, I did before this? I was a developer at Blizzard. Like, dude, no, we get it, bro. Like, explain why you weren't at fault. How about that? No, I was a developer at Blizzard. Wasn't my fault. All right, get banned, bitch. Like, literally.
Dangerous situation.
He's such a fucking prick. I hate him.
Most of the team tried helping each other survive.
Do you know who I am? Okay, got a chat here I want to read. Indie devs usually do not create big MMOs, but yeah, if they were to do that, it would be another worry. Yeah, but there are indie games that have online aspects to it. That's the problem. That is the genuine criticism that Pirate Software does have. It's vague. What happens when EU does look at it? What are they going to do? What is the expectation that they do? Oh, they look at it and they just magically solve all the problems perfectly? What is the expectation? How are they going to handle these niche issues? I personally think that it should be more of, you need to more clearly disclose that the consumers are buying licenses. That's what I think the solution should be, but what do I know? I think that sounds reasonable, though.
While Thor, you know, the guy constantly boasting his hitherto undreamt of skills, ran away and said there was nothing
he did.
could do.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking?
This
Look at
is
my mana.
savageable. Come on, man.
Do you see my mana? What am I
Look,
supposed to do?
I don't know if he'll go into it, but like I've seen so many breakdowns of this. Pirate Software said he didn't have any mana, which is like the shit you need to be able to be like a productive force, like to actually be worth sticking around. You would need the mana, I guess, right? That would be the best way to describe it. He claimed they didn't have any mana, and then he burned. He did a bunch of actions with his character that unnecessarily burned mana after establishing that he didn't have mana as an excuse. It was all on video is the best part. He recorded it all. So everybody that plays this game was able to sit back and break it down for everyone why Thor was at fault. And Thor's response? Guys. Okay, I'm hearing all the complaints. Listen, I was a developer at Blizzard. Okay, and you're shit at playing the game.
No, I'm not nearly unemployed enough to care about any of that. It's what happened afterwards. That's
literally. And I'm not mad at him for fucking up in a video game in the heat of the moment and being a prick about it. I've done that. I think everyone that plays video games has done that. The problem is after the fact, you need to own up. You need to be like, all right, guys, I gotta be honest, I gotta fuck that up, which is fine. It's not even that he fucked up and screwed everybody. It's that he refused to own up to it and engage with any of the criticism, like he continues to do today.
True character.
I never played WoW, but someone did make the call to run away. The call was made and then retracted. That's what happened. The call was made to run away. Thor immediately split. Then the leader of the party, the guy that was giving the commands, he retracted that. He said, no, actually, let's do this. And Thor continued to run. That is what happened.
He was caught lying about his resources, actively wasting them while running away.
There he is.
He could then claim that there was nothing he could do. And then when confronted, even though there was video proof, still lied about it, blamed everyone but himself, became extremely hostile towards anyone critiquing him.
Because they're goddamn insane. Because this guild is
They're insane for disagreeing with me. I was a Blizzard developer, for God's sakes. They're insane. Discrediting the opposition, dude. This guy should be Hassan Piker's best friend. They saying I'm wrong? They're insane.
To a content guild built on hate because they're freaking monsters.
A content guild built on hate. They're monsters. They're insane. Dude, Hassan Piker should fucking form a WoW community with this guy. They'd be beautiful together, dude.
Again, banning and blocking people left and right. Even in debates with team members, he would make everyone respectfully listen to his side thoroughly. But then from the moment other members wanted to share their perspective, left the call like a little child.
Yeah, no.
Can I speak?
Nah, I'm good. See ya.
He eventually got kicked out.
This is why you're wrong. This is why you're wrong. And I'm right. Well, dude, can I fucking just say my point? Nah, I'm good. Hangs up on him. Did I mention I was a developer at Blizzard? That's the problem. He won't even engage. He won't even leave the door open to possibly be fucking wrong. He won't do it. He's like, no, I'm going to spit my shit and then I'm out. You're not even worth listening to. I was a developer at Blizzard.
Creator Guild, not because he made a mistake, no one really cared about that, but because just as with Stop Killing Games, he went in acting as a person with the most skill and authority, ended up shitting the bed, then kept lying to try save
Look, there he is.
and when
Look, why is he burning resources? You can literally see the character animating, drinking potions and burning resources as he runs out of the fucking map. You can literally see it. And if you watch a breakdown from any WoW content creator, which I have done because I covered this originally, it's so easily explainable that no, he said he had no mana, he had mana, and then he burned a bunch of resources that would have like proven that he could have done something, and then after the fact like refused to engage with any of those criticisms.
Acted like a fragile ego toddler getting reprimanded for sticking crayons up his nose, then angrily insisted the adults around him put them there.
What the fuck is this?
Anyway.
Dude, wipe the snot off below your fucking nose, soggy cereal. And get that Is that why you have fucking snot all over the like mustache area of your fucking face? Because you're shoving pencils up your nose for this video? Look at it. It's like he's so moist. Why is he so moist? Stop it.
Is getting to the lawsuit threat. At the time, an indie developer was working on a simple parody game.
Yeah, that's what soggy comes from. He's always moist, dude. He's he couldn't use moist because Penguin Zero uses that, so he's soggy cereal.
Embarrassing streamer moments, such as a Pokimane for streamer cookies controversy, or XQC for being XQC.
Rough take. I think XQC is cool. I was an XQC hater. I have videos that I'm like going off on XQC. I think he's cool. I think I was wrong. Dude. He's funny. I'm fucking sorry. XQC's funny, dude. I don't even care, dude. I don't even care. And as far as like the content theft shit, the react shit, he literally is like, yeah, I made my millions stealing content. Like, he'll get interviewed on the street, and XQC, they'll be like, yo, dude, what do you do for a living? And XQC will say, I steal content. I don't know. And he's allowed to do that. Fucking, why hate the player, man? Hate the game, you know? Like
recording of his game on Reddit, including pirate software as a cockroach.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
Which, in the World of Warcraft community, refers to players desperately scurrying away instead of helping their team whenever danger is around. Now, up until that point, no streamer had made any issue of this game existing. And it definitely wasn't going to be the big supporter of indie game developers who desperately fought the evil consumer rights initiative Stop Killing Games to prevent indies from imaginary legal repercussions, right? He falsely DMCA'd the game, which is similar to copyright striking on YouTube.
It would be a false DMCA too. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, but they used a voice from his stream over like the animation of a cockroach talking in a video game. I think that would be transformative. No? I mean, it would have to be decided in court, but I totally disagree with the idea that that was like infringing on Thor's copyright. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's meaningfully transformative. I feel like making him look like a cockroach in like in a parody sense and then using a voiceover from his live stream is transformative. But I guess it like would be up to a court to decide whether it was like meaningfully transformative enough, right?
YouTube, meaning it got taken off of the Steam game store. Why, you ask? Well, Thor would likely give an elaborate explanation about how using his voice from stream clips infringes on his copyright.
And said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of
My dad works at Blizzard.
it, and then
You better take that down. My dad works at Blizzard. That's all I'm hearing.
put that game up on Steam. Cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way.
See, this is the used car salesman tactics. I know enough about. Oh God, I know it. Oh fucking, I know enough about the thing that I can't even pronounce right now. No, I know enough about like copyright use, like on the internet, that it's very, very vague. But the overall rule of thumb is it has to be transformative, right? So for Thor to come out with authority and the way he words things, where he demands authority by saying, you cannot use somebody's likeness in a property in that manner. That is not true. It is not for him to decide. If he really feels that strongly, which clearly he does, to be fair, it needs to go to court and be decided. But he's so used to talking in this used car salesman-like manner that that's just how he talks. You cannot do that. No, the reason that I DMCA'd him is because you cannot use someone's voice in that manner, in that type of property. It breaks DMCA. No, that's not how that works. Copyright is transformative. Copyright, fair use has to be transformative, like in that context. And if there is a concern, if the IP is being breached, it needs to be decided by like a court. Okay? So I don't know, the way he like uses language, I find to be very, very, very used car salesman
inside of your games without their permission.
And he'd probably be correct. Problem being that those voice lines weren't in the published game. The developer just screen recorded on his own PC.
Oh my god, it wasn't even in the game. Even, see, I'm not wrong. Soggy Cereal even agrees that he would probably be correct. He will, like that would have to be decided in court. He might be correct. It wasn't even in the game. I didn't know that. I knew about this drama. I didn't know that that never even made it into the game on Steam. So he DMCA'd the fucking game, and the fucking clip that he was DMCAing wasn't even a part of the game.
The developer reached out to Thor clarifying this and then asking if he could drop the false DMCA on his game.
So it is a false DMCA. He's DMCAing content that's not even in the game. He's DMCAing a game for content that's not even in the game. And he was made aware of that. But Thor is never wrong, after all. He worked for Blizzard. So we'll see how he reasonably and well-adjustedly reacts to being wrong here. Again being wrong. This guy's a fucking idiot, dude.
Obviously, Thor did the most kind-hearted and sensible thing.
We're gonna take you to court. You're going to lose.
Jesus Christ. This legal abuse ended up pissing off an actual lawyer who then took the case to fight Pirate Software's false claim free of charge.
A fucking lawyer took the case to fight Pirate Software free of charge. Why would a lawyer do that? Because they knew it was going to be a slam fucking dunk, which it obviously was, because Pirate Software DMCA'd a piece of content that was in the game, that was not even in the game, Easy slam dunk, obviously, because he was DMCAing the game for a piece of media that wasn't even in the fucking game, bro. And the guy had the fucking balls after he was made aware of that to get on a stream and go, listen, I don't know if you knew this about me, but I worked at Blizzard. So let me tell you something. You will be sued and you will lose because I am right. Did I mention I worked at Blizzard? Yeah. And he's wrong. He's wrong. Even Soggy Cereal said the same thing I said. Maybe he would be. Soggy Cereal said he would be right. I said maybe he'd be right. Had to be decided in court. And then it proved, and then we found out that the content being DMCA'd wasn't even in the game. Like, so you're just wrong. You're fucking wrong, bro.
Which, there's an entire Substack with more details. I'll put it in the description if you're interested. But the situation basically ended as we're now used to, with Thor lying, doubling down, deflecting, and blocking any criticism until he finally dropped the DMCA.
He's always right.
His EVE Online
and he dropped the DMCA like a little bitch. Because he's wrong. Fucking.
We need to build a wall.
We need to build a wall around him, dude.
Make himself look better, deleting any comments debunking them. He lied about TV show Mr. Robot to go viral.
He covered it up.
Deleting the comments questioning his claims.
Literally trying to hide the fact that he was dead wrong from his audience instead of just coming out and saying, listen, I jumped the gun, I fucked up.
He abuses his huge audience to match report players he dislikes.
He began assaulting lobby caravans and threatening to get solo players banned who lashed out at him when he zerged their caravans with 40 players.
Oh, hey, wait, this guy's gonna get banned from the video game. I'm gonna report the shit out of this guy.
Tech, there's allegations with proof.
Wow. Look at this. Wow, dude. He must really, really fucking try hard for this stream angle.
Oh, hey, wait, this guy's gonna get banned from the video game. I'm gonna report the shit out of this guy.
Because look at that, dude. Wow, man. Dude, no fucking way. Look at this fucking guy. I'm Pirate Software and I worked at Blizzard. No fucking wonder, dude. No wonder he acts the way he acts, dude. Imagine how his life in school was, dude. Oh my god. Oh. Oh man, this guy has to go to court. I have to see him in a suit. I have to see him in a suit. Oh my god, dude.
There's allegations with proof. He even fakes his voice to sound deeper.
It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con.
Oh my, dude. Oh my. Look and listen to this fucking guy outside of his stream.
And there's so many people, and they love the games.
This is complete garbage.
Look, that camera angle must have been the result of hours and hours. The camera angle and whatever voice modulation he has to make his voice sound the way it does must be the result of hours and hours and hours of fucking like audio video like camera experts putting in tireless man hours to make him look not like this. To make him look and sound not like this, dude.
It's our first time out here at Denver Comic Con, and there's so many people, and they love the games.
This is complete garbage.
No wonder he doesn't like to talk. He's like, oh, he must have gotten picked on and fucking bullied so much growing up, dude. And then he would go, I'm sure he says,
You better not pick on me. My dad works at Blizzard.
Garbage. All of this can eat shit then.
He keeps lying to make himself look better. What are you, the Elon Musk of Twitch? Why does he think he can keep doing this? Why does
you can see him in a suit. He was at the Streamer Awards. No fucking way. Did he give a speech? Oh my god, please tell me Pirate Software gave a speech at the Streamer Awards. For the love of God, please. Please, please, please. Oh god, we're looking it up right now. Pirate Software Streamer Awards. Hold on, we're gonna look it up right now. Pirate Software Streamer Awards. I have to see this. I simply have to see this.
And the winner goes to...
Look at his fucking hair. Comb your hair. Buy a fucking brush, dude. Look at it. And they did him dirty too, because they put a backlight behind him, so you can see all of his like fray fucking killed ends of his hair. Like condition, bro. Get some conditioner, dude. Comb your fucking hair. What? No.
The man with the voice changer, Pirate Software.
There he is. Look at his fucking hair, dude. This unkempt fucking mess, dude. Just like objectively, like just a thought experiment for a moment. What do you think his hair smells like? He's trying to can't even keep out his face. There he is, dude. There's the man. To be fair, the suit, the suit's doing work here. I'm gonna be honest. The suit's doing some heavy lifting here. Okay, it was way worse when we were just seeing him wearing a t-shirt. Again, the people preserving his image by tailoring him. The tailor who did this suit. This is again the result of thousands and thousands of man hours tirelessly working to make him not look like we saw him previously. To make him not look like that.
This actually is really heavy. Holy shit. So, it's honestly amazing to me that we even have a category now. Like, the software and game development category is incredible. You guys should definitely check it out.
Look how wide his suit is. Like, that is, like, they're trying to hide things. Like, just the proportions of the suit. I don't know. I wore a suit yesterday for a wedding. And, like, this is clearly, like, this is, the suit is tailored in a way to hide any unpleasant trees with his physical form, which is what a suit should do, well-tailored suit. But man, is that a lot of fabric. But his voice isn't a fake, I don't think. I think he has better voice training than, he's got pretty good voice training going on here. I refuse to believe that a normal, a real human voice would sound like this, but it's not fake. I don't
Many
think it's
more
fake.
creators than
All right, I don't fucking need to hear you talk. Does he mention that his dad? Does he mention that he worked at Blizzard?
just
Hold on.
me in there. It's definitely not just me. So
Hold on. We don't need to listen to the whole thing. I'll look for it in the transcript. Give me a second. Give me a fucking second. We gotta find this. Where is the transcript? Show me the transcript. There it is. Liz. Oh, what? No way. No way. He didn't mention it. He didn't mention it. Well, that's impressive. All right, let's check back on the soggy cereal video.
Does he get to enforce his elitist thoughts as undisputed facts throughout the online game dev community?
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
That doesn't give you the right to...
I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
20 years? How old is Pirate Software? Wait, what? You worked at... Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Everybody relax for a fucking second. All right, everybody chill out. This is... How old is Pirate Software? We need to figure this. This is important. I'm reading up on it right now. We're downloading the information from the fucking mainframe. We are downloading the info currently to my neural complex. Where is it? I need to know how old this man is. He's been in the industry for 20 years. Pirate Software, age. Okay. Pirate Software is 37 years old, 20, so he was, okay, you know what? Fuck me. He'd be like 27 in the industry. But damn, what the fuck? What the hell? All right. They did him a little dirty there in the AI overview photo. All right, we're going back to soggy cereal. We're going back to soggy cereal.
That we know, although...
Oh, that's his dad? Fair enough. His dad was the South Park WoW guy, right?
Never really were a game developer there, were you? See,
also, yeah, his dad was an industry like insider. So, Nepo baby? Question mark. Nepo baby? Question mark.
Got into Blizzard through nepotism because...
Literally the next segment. He got into Blizzard through nepotism out of Soggy Cereal's mouth. Literally the next fucking word, dude. Yes, dude. I'm a fucking genius, dude. I tied it all together perfectly. Oh, that's... No, what am I doing?
This is literally divine punishment. Like,
okay, I'm perfect. I'm an expert streamer. I tied it together perfect, bro. You like that segment breakdown?
His dad had an important role there.
My dad is the WoW guy from Sony.
Yeah, I literally
just
said
the cinematic director for Blizzard for 23 years.
And half his time there was spent as QA or test engineer, meaning he wasn't a game dev. No, he tested what the game developers made. And then the rest of his career there...
His dad got him a job at Blizzard being like a game fucking like tester.
Focused on cybersecurity. Again, not game development. They are two entirely different ways of working, and I can see that because for someone constantly...
Anybody in IT could tell you it's so annoying. You tell somebody that like you work in IT, and no matter like what it is, they think that you know everything about everything. Like there's so many different sectors in like technology. Like I tell people I work in IT, and they'll be like, "Oh, could you build me a website?" It's like, no, like this is, I don't know. But like the layman doesn't know. You could like really get away with a lot with that.
Critiquing others, his goal.
Peak reaction performance was it? Peak reaction performance summarizing before it even brought up. Yeah, dude, I know, dude. I know what's going on, dude. I could feel the flow of the video through my veins.
Good in other roles is fucking terrible for game development. That's probably the main reason his Kickstarter game is now so delayed. People are now asking for refunds. And I'm not.
Do you guys remember Pirate Software started beef with MatPat and Game Theory because MatPat reviewed Heartbound and he was comparing it to... oh god, the game with Megalovania soundtrack, the game with Sans. MatPat compared it to that game, and Heartbound had he compared Heartbound to that game, and Pirate Software had like a mental fucking breakdown on the timeline about it. And that was before like all of the recent drama. That was when he was still normally liked, which just proves this guy has been like a massive fucking bitch his entire career.
Saying that any of those jobs are less important than that of a game dev.
No, they are, actually. I'm sorry. I know we're trying to make everybody feel comfy cozy, but yes, all of those positions that he held in the development of making a game were less important than a game developer. It's in the name, Soggy Cereal. You don't have to be that nice.
Friends in cybersecurity, and I would not know how to do their job. And QA is crucial and often sadly looked down upon, because frankly, a lot of people in the game dev industry are elitist. Which is why I made this video, because I hate the elitist rhetoric Thor spews. It brings me back to my time studying for my game dev bachelor's in university, where so many students would act kind, but then use
He's got a bachelor's.
bragging, lies, or insults to fabricate authority over you and
Yes.
make everyone around them feel inferior.
That is literally what Thor does. He has an elitist mindset. And that's literally, he did a better job of explaining what I was trying to say, where he demands authority with the way that he speaks. That was a much better way of putting it.
Would degrade first years. Even teachers would support the idea of looking down on students studying in IT fields outside of game development. And I fucking hated it. It made me develop imposter syndrome. So I couldn't stand seeing a popular streamer normalize this behavior, because it shouldn't be. It's already so common that my recruiter at Arrowhead Game Studios told me he screened me for it, because if they don't, they'll often recruit ego trippers like that, incapable of dealing with criticism, who are unable
But
to
isn't that
function in
just
a team.
that's like a lot of IT? I feel like a lot of people that work like exclusively in IT, they have like a very elitist mindset. They think that they're like, I've met people in IT that are fucking goddamn near useless, and you'd swear that they think like by talking to them, you would think that they're like the head of cybersecurity at Apple, and then they can't even do something as simple as troubleshoot why a computer is like displaying for 3 monitors when it only has 2 plugged in. Like, that's a very specific example because that happened to me.
Setting so often that they gave them the nickname Brilliant Dicks, because they act.
Thor is not the first time I've heard that I have 20 years of experience line. What do you mean?
Brilliant, but really they're just dicks.
That's awful, dude. No. Eat my entire ass.
Just know that if you were like me on the receiving end of such individuals and ended up feeling inferior because of it, try to ignore them and focus on proving them wrong. I didn't know jack shit about game development or programming at the start of my bachelor's, yet at the end, I ended up completing challenges that they couldn't, because instead of learning from the people around them, they were too busy sniffing their own farts.
Yeah.
Can I confidently say
I think that's important. I think a lot of people struggle from this. They get to a point where they assume that they know like a lot, and then it makes it difficult for them to continue to grow. I've seen this happen with like a lot of people in jobs, where like they start off and they're like pretty good, and then they hit a really hard plateau because they just like they think they know everything. They think they're no longer like a student and they're not willing to learn anymore. Yeah, I think it's always good to just assume that you know nothing, and then like. I don't know where else to go with that, but I think when in doubt, you don't know. How about that? When in doubt, you don't know. And you normally should be doubting, you should be questioning. Well, I happen to work in IT, and some people boat with their work experience in years, and they aren't great. That's every industry, but I do think like IT has a specific like veneer over it. And like you can get away with a lot by like just saying to someone you work in IT. Right? And really all you're doing is like setting up cell phones. But you get to still say, I work in IT. You get to describe your role in a company the same way that the head of cybersecurity gets to describe it. And then you get an ego.
That Thor is a confirmed narcissist? No, because I don't have a psychology degree to back it up. What I can say, however, is that while Thor might believe the delusion that he's some uniquely gifted genius deserving to look down on everyone around him, well, for me, he's just another brilliant dick.
I can see how easy it is to manipulate people emotionally to gain money on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Don't ever even want to get near that.
So,
wow. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Yeah, man. I don't know. I really don't think my opinion has changed that much. Is there another like really good quick breakdown of like what the initiative, something I missed with the initiative specifically? Because my issue isn't that Pirate Software is critical of the initiative. My issue is more so that he's like completely unwilling to have a conversation about it or be open just in general. Like he's not willing to talk to the guy that's the head of the initiative about it. He's blocking people that are critical of him. And like I've repeatedly stated, like I see issues, potential issues with the initiative. I do think that there's room to criticize it and discuss it. The problem is Pirate Software is not willing to discuss it. Pirate Software shat all over it, misrepresented. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but he did misrepresent the initiative. And then when people wanted to talk with him, the guy that is in charge of the initiative wanted to clarify things with him, answer questions. He rejected him. He wouldn't do it. So it's more of a Thor. Thor is like such like a fucking like prick that's the issue, right? I guess I don't buy the idea that like Thor killed the initiative and that's why he's bad. He's going to kill all games. But he did try to, right? And he was not willing to have conversations about it. He was not willing to have a back and forth. It was the typical, listen, I was a game developer at Blizzard, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is shit. Which is so funny that before I even knew that he was criticizing his opposition by saying that they're used car salesmen's like tactics, I already like compared him to the way like a used car salesman like demands authority with the way they use language. That's what he does. This is shit. This is garbage, and I will not support it. Blah 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 from chat. Yeah, get banned. By the way, yeah, no, I will not talk about it. I was a developer with Blizzard. Bullshit. Ross made a lot of videos, but they are very long and dry. They are very long and dry, and that's a problem. Like I was gonna try to be fair. Like again, I think that it is if you are the average person that is going to be going to this initiative to try to support it, out of 187,000 people, the vast majority are not going to sit through one of Ross's videos. And it's not Ross's fault necessarily, but like, I think that you need to, if there were questions that were easily answerable and they were in his videos, then he should have, it's not bad that he has hour-and-a-half long videos explaining things, but alongside that, he should have like a 10-minute video going over like the broader accusations, the you know what I mean? Like this is really hard to digest, and you want people to feel comfortable digesting. Like, was it big update on Stop Killing Games? Like this one isn't bad, but it's very dry. Like even an 8-minute video for him is like kind of like. I hate to like be a dick, but I'm gonna be honest. Like even like an 8-minute video from him is like kind of hard to fucking watch.
For the people who literally can't write their own name properly, that could be a lot. I've heard 10% minimum, 20% is better, 40% should be really safe. Or
so
it
this
would
is
be
the first 4 minutes is him going over
kinda where I
phantom
am right now,
signatures, like
mentally.
issues with the actual signatures. Clown coin.
Another news item, I've been told someone has launched a cryptocurrency based on Stop Killing Games. Dumbest timeline, guys.
I don't know. It's good that he's giving updates, but like chat, you pointed out, like it is very dry. It's hard to digest, and it does like you need people that are a little bit more like Soggy Cereal. You need like a guy like Soggy Cereal to make the video, or something like that. Like and that, like there's like I don't know. It's very low effort. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Yeah, I don't know. I think that like I keep saying, I think there is like a back and forth to be had there. I just think that like there's clear bias with Pirate Software, and he is somebody that has the opportunity to sit down with the people that are heads of this initiative for clarification, and he like refuses to do so, right? Like if he was like willing, like if I was in a position, especially if I had a reasonable audience, where I could dictate like how things would play out just because I was influential. And Ross reached out to me and was like, listen, you got a bunch of shit wrong. Let me talk to you. I wouldn't dismiss that. That would be insane of me. That's just not right. You shouldn't do that. I don't know how better to put it. Oh, man. What else is going on in the world today? I was going to talk a little bit about... What was I even going to fucking talk about? There's the Adam McKendry fucking shit, but I don't know. I don't talk about that. Oh, iDubbbz. I don't know. But I guess that's all I have to say about the Stop Killing Games thing. I think there's like valid criticisms towards that movement, but at the same time, like the criticisms to Thor are also very, very, very valid. And he is like, again, proving to be just a fucking intolerable fucking prick. Annoying used car salesman like monster. Oh yeah, this was funny. I kind of just wanted to say something about this. iDubbbz reposted Ethan Klein was successfully sued by Ryan He reposted this fucking nonsense. Ethan Klein was successfully sued by Ryan Kavanaugh for defamation. I don't believe that he was. I believe that Ethan won those lawsuits. I think it's just lying. I don't believe that any of them were like successful. So this is just like iDubbbz. It appears to me that this is just iDubbbz reposting misinformation. Today, Ethan was forced to read a humiliating segment apologizing for defamation and using his fan base for harassment. Ethan has defamed many pro-Palestinians. They sue him and force an apology. Wait, did I miss something? Hold on. I'll eat crow. I'm wrong sometimes. I could have missed something.
So here's my apology to Ryan Kavanaugh. I read to you now. To Ryan Kavanaugh, I want to offer my sincere and unreserved apology. At the time, I was led to believe you were behind a particular copyright lawsuit.
Okay. This was not. Okay, I have to eat shit. It does appear that Ethan Klein had to read an apology to Ryan Kavanaugh as a result of the lawsuit, which is an L. That is an L. I'm not sure what that has to do with the overall iDubbbz drama, but it is a fucking L to be posted. I didn't know this happened. How did I miss this? Why do I want that there, Twitter?
Acting on that belief, I went on and attacked you publicly and persistently. In doing so, I failed to consider the personal impact of my actions. And I lost sight of the basic respect every person deserves, regardless of any dispute. That hit its home, you know? I also understand that as a result, your Wikipedia page has been significantly altered to reflect you in a negative...
This is a hard watch, dude. Like this okay, this is a genuine fucking L that's like worth a giggle towards like at Ethan for. How hard he went after Ryan Kavanaugh. Is the webpage still up? You guys know that you guys ever see this? And he like promoted this so many times. Does Ryan Kavanaugh look like Harvey Weinstein? I think it is done. I think he took it down. That was the website, right? Oh, man. Ryan. Oh, I guess Ethan ate shit, huh? Fuck, dude. Oh, man, dude. All right, I gotta listen to this. I got okay. Ethan Klein got blown out by Ryan Kavanaugh on the defamation. It looks like
negative light.
That's fucking embarrassing, dude. For how hard he went after him. That's fucking... Why can I not use Twitter correctly? Why would I want the full... What?
And I apologize for any involvement I had in that. I apologize for ever making statements that led anyone to believe you were involved in unethical or bad business dealings. And I now know that any of those things I may have spread were not true. I deeply regret ever elevating or emphasizing that false narrative, and it was wrong of me.
And he's making it so obvious he's reading from a script as like a subtle way to like let the audience know like I don't actually agree with this. Like,
and I apologize. Because of the attention I placed on you, I know that you and your family became the target of harassment and hate. And truly none of them deserved any of that. The hurt that, was caused by my actions is something I take full responsibility for, and I am truly sorry for that. I also understand the harm that the negative social media and Wikipedia edits have placed on you.
Oh my God.
And your business. And again, I apologize for my involvement I had in that, and I hope that any such issues can be retracted.
No one's talking about this. This is such a fucking L. And I'm a fan of Ethan. I like Ethan, all right? But this is such a fucking L, dude. It's because all of his people, all the people that come after him are like fucking morons, dude. Like they don't know what battles to pick. They don't know like this is actually like a genuine L. This is fucking embarrassing.
Right. And that you do not have to endure any further issues as a result of those actions. Truly. We have since come to peace, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to move forward. With this apology and with full respect, I ask that anybody who may have been acting on my behalf directly or indirectly stop immediately. Ryan and his family and his associates should be left alone now for good.
Wow, dude.
This is literally divine punishment. Like,
dude, no. Yeah, that sucks.
So here's my.
Oh man. Yeah, Ethan got blown up by Ryan Kavanaugh, but I don't know. It is funny that iDubbbz would repost this because the whole narrative is that like Ethan is like harassing them, and there's like iDubbbz and Anissa have repeatedly like ignored the context of like their involvement. Not that's the thing they do that's classic. Like I never even mentioned CPS. Like, well, that's the problem. That's the whole issue. It's like Ethan was like, "Hey man, can anybody that's like a reason, like a creator that like knows me and has been to my house, like please let people know there's not dog shit all over the floor?" And they were just like, I'm gonna be quiet. And also remember, Ethan, my silence means something. Like, yeah, like how else are you supposed to interpret that? I don't know. Thought it was bad. Thought it was pretty rough. Oh man. Can I find... I almost just want to fucking try to find this. Matt Pat. Pirate Software. Let me see if I can find this. Years ago, Pirate Software and MatPat had a huge beef. And I couldn't find it before the stream. If I can find it right now, I'll go over it again. Here it is. Here's some tweets. So where's this? Here it is. Here's the tweet. Pirate Software. Hey, MatPat. I'm pretty disappointed here, and so is our community. Your recent hashtag GT Live came across as an Undertale clickbait mashup instead of being about Heartbound. So obviously what MatPat would have been doing here is he's using like the metadata for Undertale to help drive engagement to the live stream where he was actually playing Heartbound, because the games are very, very similar. And Pirate Software's butthurt because I don't even know why. It was like why? Because people are that's gonna be more people clicking on the video that are gonna see your game, and that should drive more attention to your game than just a regurgitation of the same property to the same people that already know about your game, right? People that like Undertale would now be seeing Heartbound, but Pirate Software's ego appears to be so ridiculously large that he's like upset that his game is not just being allowed to stand on its own 2 feet. He's mad because the clickbait was more Undertale associated. What is this? It's been almost a year since we played the Heartbound demo, and now the game is finally here, or at least more of it. So he's promoting your game, and you're mad because he didn't do it the right way. And then this is probably where the criticism is. Hashtag Undertale 2. Oh, so Thor fucking hated that. Undertale 2? This is its own. How dare you? How dare you compare me to another video game? That's the issue. And here's the metadata, right? This is the metadata screenshot. Yeah. Put Undertale 2 in there. Oh, what a fucking crime that you had to go get mad at MadPat. This was in 2019. This guy's always been an unhinged fucking lunatic. What do MadPats have to say? I'm sorry for what came across as defensive again. I meant no disrespect, but apologies are one thing, actions are another. All games will now be linked to download. Okay. Fair fucking enough. All right, even like I don't even agree that this is an issue, but yeah. Even MadPat was like, fair enough. Here's what okay, I heard the complaints. I'll play your game. We'll revise the way we tag and title live streams. I promise to improve. Hopefully this is a good start. MadPat being unconfrontational. Thor, in my opinion, is bitching about nothing. Clearly unable to understand that the promotion is more valuable because now you're getting a new... If it was marketed as Heartbound, who would be interested? Right? People that already know about Heartbound. If you market it as like a similar game to Undertale, now people that would have normally not been interested in the game are now going to be interested because they liked Undertale. But Thor is such a little bitch, crybaby, right? That he has to have a problem with the fact that his game doesn't just have... My playthrough of the game on your YouTube doesn't have pure metadata for my game and my game alone. It has to have that. You're diluting it. How dare you compare it to something else? But they did resolve. What is this? Thank you for moving forward on this and updating your... Thank you for bending the knee, MadPat. It really, like, MadPat clearly is not wanting to be involved with the fucking drama. And then Pirate Software, like, he can't even just say thank you and move on. He has to say it like this. Again, the way he does language is disgusting. Thank you for moving forward on this. Like, this was the obvious recourse. Just to let you know, my dad bought me a Blizzard game once. Damn, healthy living with eggplant. But yeah, this, like, look at the language here. Thank you for moving forward on this. Like, this was the only resolution that would have been acceptable. MadPat bending the knee. I personally don't think he did anything wrong. I think Pirate Software is actually shooting himself in the foot here over his ego. That's just me. But the way he words it, thank you for moving forward on this. This is implying, in my opinion, this was the only possible way they could have moved forward. Updating your policies, it really means a lot to us. Again, not just Pirate Software. It means a lot to us, me, my community. I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for the Heartbound community. What a fucking godsend. What God's gift to fucking game development, Pirate Software. Thank you for moving forward. That's so yeah, exactly. Means a lot, and I know it will mean a lot to other developers. I'm not just speaking for myself on this. I'm not just defending me and my properties. And I'm not just defending the Heartbound community alone. No. I, Pirate Software, am defending all video game developers from the evil misjustices of MadPat. Thank you for bending the knee. What a fucking loser. In the future, I know the situation sucks right now, but I think you're doing the right thing here. What a fucking loser. And MadPat's such a nice guy that he just like wanted to be done with the drama. He doesn't care that much. In MadPat's mind, he was doing him a favor. Probably. How could you view it any other fucking way? And when he bitched about it, he's just like, okay, whoa, dude, geez, dude, okay, whatever. Yeah, man, I'll fucking do that. We'll change the description, all right? What a loser, man. Captain America of game development, truly, dude. And it's always been this way. The point that I'm making here, this was back in 2019. This was back when Pirate Software, like, still, like, didn't have many controversies under his belt. And he's starting drama with MadPat because he didn't do the description of his gameplay of Heartbound correctly to Pirate Software's liking. What a fucking loser. What a fucking loser, man. Jesus Christ. Ugh. And then there's like all the furry stuff. Disgusting, man. Like, I know there were a bunch of I don't know. I'll reel it in because I don't really know what happened, but I don't know. Like, what was it? Chud Logic covered it. What was it? Chud Logic. Pirate Software and Chud Logic, man, they're going to have to hug it out because Chud Logic fucking hates this guy. Accusations. I don't know. He had like a online furry. He had some type of online relationship with somebody, and it was weird. That's pretty much the summary of it. I don't really care to go into it. Who cares? Imagine him being his coworker. What are you trying to say here? Imagine him being his coworker at Blizzard. Gonna tell my dad. Yeah, literally. I'm gonna tell my dad on you. Captain. Yeah, dude, he sucks. Lawsuit season. What is this? Healthy living with eggplant. That would always be scary. What is even What is up with Heartbound? What is Heartbound? I didn't really like. I didn't like the other one. Well, what was the game that people compared to Heartbound? That he was mad that Heartbound was being compared to the game just like 2 seconds ago. I forgot what it was. Undertale. So let's look at Heartbound.
Heartbound is an indie game which clearly takes a lot of inspiration from Undertale with somewhat similar vibes.
No, that's impossible. No, because when MatPat compared them in a clickbaity way, fair enough, he had a temper tantrum about it. How dare you say these games are similar?
Never appeared to even have any attempt at...
Just look at the way the game looks. Look at Heartbound. What is it? Undertale. Whatever I just typed. Undertale.
Okay, you saw the title. It's
What's
not
up?
beautifully shaded. The line work can be a little funky, and it's kind of inconsistent.
I don't know. I see the similarities. Well, MatPat and clickbait is just part of the same dish, to be fair. Yeah, MatPat has his own things that people like. He's sold out. He's a fucking sellout. How about that? MatPat is a sellout, and I say that, and people get mad at me whenever I say it. It's fucking true. MatPat's a sellout. He sold out to a fucking corpo. He fucking is no longer a fucking YouTuber, okay? People hate when you point that out. He sold out. MatPat's a sellout. And you know what, Matt? I don't know. It's not to defend MatPat. Remember when MatPat made a PewDiePie video? MatPat PewDiePie drama. MatPat and PewDiePie had a back and forth. What is this? Well, he did dude. Wow, I didn't realize they had this big fucking back and forth. Look at this. Game Theory, leave PewDiePie alone. Game Theory, yes, PewDiePie, YouTube is broken. Film Theory, why PewDiePie Fiverr joke backfired.
How's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie. I'm just gonna get right to it. I have some important news for you, bros. My videos aren't sending out properly to the sub boxes. YouTube is broken.
You're right, Felix. YouTube is broken, but not in the way you think.
Wow, that's clickbaity. So what was even the point of dragging PewDiePie into it? All right, yeah, it's great. It's fancy.
Few times here. When I'm not researching the airspeed velocity of a flying elf boy attached to a chain, I channel, say the game theorists, you aren't being notified on your homepage of our latest videos. Like,
yeah, guys, ring the fucking bell so you know when I'm live, because YouTube just decides whether or not it wants to fucking send subscriptions out, even 10 years ago. To be fair, I don't think it's entirely a bad thing, but I think that, like, I think it comes down to the fact that, like, if YouTube sees that people aren't really engaging with my videos to a meaningful capacity, they're less likely to recommend it unless you ring the bell. But what, they're just going to recommend you some other fucking slop? Why not me? You know? And then there's times where my algorithm will completely change on YouTube because I like looked up, like I got into small engine repair for a little bit, and I was really into like a couple like small engines that were being used in like go-karts and stuff. And then all of my typical like drama content and like all the content I normally watch, that all got replaced for like go-karts. I didn't want that. I didn't subscribe to the fucking go-kart channels. I subscribed to fucking like who's Nicholas Diorio showing up over here, right? Like I subscribed to fucking PewDiePie. You know? I don't know. I feel like if you subscribe to a channel, you should always receive their notifications. That's the point of a subscription. You shouldn't have to click an extra button. But YouTube knows best, right? YouTube knows best.
The one you're watching now. And if you're just a casual viewer of YouTube, you might wonder why this is.
But MadPat like did all this shit. Like he made a video about PewDiePie and how he blew up, and basically like attributed it to like manipulation of like YouTube, and PewDiePie got like butthurt about it. At least normal videos are somewhat aligned to my interests. Shorts, and on the other hand, don't even ignore the ignore the channel button. Yeah, shorts are fucking awful. I hate it. I like making videos. Live streams are just easier and they do better. I don't even know how better to describe it. Like that's literally it for me. In the time like for me to make one video that would not even do as well, like I can do like multiple I can do one live stream and cut it up into multiple videos if I really want to hustle. Yeah, I don't know. MatPat. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, MatPat is definitely not like a saint. I think there's a lot of things to criticize about MatPat that like don't get brought up enough. The number one for me is that he's a fucking sellout. No, he's not. He just sold his company to a corpo. All his channels to some corporation. He's not a sellout. Okay, then what is a sellout? Like, there's people that get accused of being a sellout because they did like the wrong sponsor. But MatPat's not a sellout. He sold everything. He doesn't own anything anymore. Oh man. Anything cool going on? Let me browse Twitter quick. Look at this is funny. Release the files at real Donald Trump. Is that real? Elmo's funny. Unironically, Elmo's Twitter is funny. Is that a weird thing for me to know? Elmo had like a whole beef with like a rock. He doesn't really post anymore. That will convince him. Oh my dude. Honestly, there's a really good chance there genuinely aren't Epstein file, like a list. There's like a really good chance that there just genuinely isn't a list. Look, Harley Morenstein follows Elmo. All right? It's not just me. We find that. That's a funny thing. Fuck it. I'll talk about it right now. Elmo has this beef with this fucking rock. Elmo Rocco Twitter. I don't know. This is like my fucking monkey brain. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find these, dude. Elmo has a beef with this rock on the show called Rocco, and I just think it's actually fucking funny. No, fucking, how do you use Twitter? Does anybody know how to use Twitter? Does anybody know? If you know how to use Twitter, contact me. I need someone to teach me. I thought once you clicked and then you searched, it would show you search results in... No. Fucking Christ. Elmo. This is ridiculous that I'm trying to find like tweets from Elmo. Elmo... Rocco, Elmo, Rock, Elmo. All right, never mind. I don't know. I'm failing to find the tweets. Let me try Google Images. Yeah, dude, this is the best drama on the internet. Elmo versus Rocco, bro. Elmo Rocco Twitter. Here. Rocco is just a rock, Mr. Simon is the GOAT, so why does that make Elmo? I don't know. I remember it was funny. I don't know. Here it is. Here's like a good example of the tweets. Oh my god. Oh my god. Gross. Disgusting. Let me fix that. Can I please just look at the fucking picture? Please. For the love of fucking God, blish. Oh my god, dude, this is awful. I don't know. We'll just read it like this. Has anyone ever seen a rock eat a cookie? Elmo is just curious. Don't worry, everybody. Elmo and Zoe practice sharing and are still buds. Elmo, like, I don't know. This is a fail. This is a fail. Failure launch, but Elmo at one point had like a whole beef with a rock on Twitter. It was fucking funny. That will convince him. All right, I think I'm fucking cooked. I gotta do other stuff with my life, so I'm gonna end the stream. Well, thanks, Nick. You got some new people in chat. Yeah, dude, hit the fucking bell button. Subscribe and hit the bell button. For the love of God, guys, get the notifications out. Yeah, it was cool. All right, guys. Yeah, good stream. I'll chop it up. I'll have the VOD up at some point. Cool. Yeah, I'm rolling. Yeah, it's been real. Good stream. Thanks, guys. Bye.